Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to Formula Sean. I nearly did the other one. That's why I stopped myself before I went going there. Also, I forgot to turn my lights on. You know I'm lying to you. There you go. How are we all doing in chat for this midweek stream that I imagine CPB over in chat is quite excited about? He has been asking for at least a year, and we'll do it next week. And that's what we've been saying for about a year, and we're finally here and ready to go. I'm not alone though. I said we. It's been a while. I pressed the wrong button, which is a great start, I've got to say. Fantastic start. Where are we? I know he's here. I can hear him. He's here. Hello, John T. We got there in the end, mate. It's
Hello.
been a while. How are you? I mean, I'm going to ask how are you. I spoke to you yesterday for about 2.5 hours. That quick 10 minutes flew by. But it's been a while since the chat saw you on a stream. So testing, was it? Last one?
It was, yeah. I think the Thursday of testing. Thursday and the Friday? I can't remember. That was a funny week.
It was a strange
You
week,
had to try
wasn't
and fill the gaps in. Yeah.
it?
Yeah, but it's funny. We've planned all this out, and the Formula One gods have graced us with other comedy.
I mean,
I don't know if you've seen this. Well, Audi is supposed to be revealing their F1 livery.
Today?
Yeah, right now, and by doing it, they've DDoSed their own site because they weren't quite prepared for it.
How long have I been asleep?
It's amazing.
It can't be a long time already. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
wow.
No. Oh, no. Now they've got to the point where you can register your email, but that's it.
Right.
They were supposed to be showing up their livery, and all they did was DDoS their own site, which is absolutely incredible.
We'll keep an eye out for that.
I can't find the right windows.
Definitely. Because we'll definitely want to show that off on stream if we can. So we'll keep an eye out for that one for sure. But we're here to talk about Felipe Massa, which some people are going to go, what year is this? Don't talk so stupid. But Felipe's he's in court, governor, or he has been. He's sort of taken his case against, let me find the list here, Bernie Ecclestone, Formula One management, and the governing body of the FIA. And he's had his sort of pre-trial, and now he's waiting to hear whether or not they can take it to a proper trial at a future date. The official Mr. Justice J saying judgment will be reserved to be handed down at a future date. So hopefully we'll hear something in the coming weeks. He did say on the grid on Sunday that he's hoping for justice, but for those, or he's looking forward to justice, or his exact words, but for those who aren't really sure what this is about, it's about 2008. Yes, we are in 2025, and the Singapore Grand Prix, and one of the biggest controversies in F1 history, a literal race-fixing scandal, courtesy of Renault, and specifically Mr. Briatore. Yes, the guy who's somehow still in charge at Alpine. Rules on that. I don't want to go over the whole Crashgate thing.
We'll gloss over that bit.
We've said plenty about Crashgate over the years. We all know, or most of you know what it is, but basically, very short version, Nelson Piquet Jr., Fernando Alonso's teammate, was asked to crash deliberately to engineer a safety car that would help Fernando Alonso, who had already pitted because of the stupid safety car regulations at the time. I watched the race back today. What the hell was that about? What a stupid regulation, which allowed Alonso to take the lead after people taking penalties, and then he won the race, and that was that. And Felipe Massa points at that as the moment when the championship was lost. I'm waiting for somebody to scream fuel hose in the chat, and you know, if you've been here long enough, or you've followed me long enough, you know what I'm going to say. Ferrari would not have been faffing in the pits like they did without that safety car. That said, it is Ferrari, and from what I watched on the race, Jonty, actually, I'd forgotten about this. It's been a long time since I watched 2008, but according to commentary at the time, Ted Kravitz and James Allen and Martin Brundle, that wasn't their first issue with the fuel rig and the traffic light system that season. So actually, it may have happened for all we know. So a lot of ifs and buts there. But do you think, I guess first question for you then, Jonty, on this one, is Felipe right to one, be pissed off? I think I know the answer to that one. And two, do you think he's right to take this to court, or try to take it to court?
Just straight in with the main question that's at like the end of the actual court case there. No beating around the bush, just straight in. Is he right? Let's see. It's difficult. Of course it's difficult. And a part of me really does genuinely feel for him, because when you look at it from his standpoint and from sort of a sporting standpoint, he has got a point. There's no denying that he's got a point. You know, the race was fixed. That's not in question at all. The facts came out later, but it's the fact that the point that it's now come out that the FIA may have known that it was fixed during the season. And it's a case of where do you go with that? Do you just disqualify Renault? Well, that ruins it for everyone else in the race. It's so awkward. I do feel really sorry for him. But as we've spoken several times in private, we've never actually done it on stream. That's the whole point of this weekend stream is where does it lead? That's the key.
It's the famous Chandler Bing line. Can open worms everywhere.
Yes.
It's basically where it goes. But yeah, I mean, just on those quotes from Bernie Ecclestone, because I have got something to say on this. I'll read them. Then the bits I've got are the key bits. I read it in full, but not everything he said because it's Bernie. He waffles more than I do. But he said we wanted to. So he told F1 Insider, I should say that, in 2023, that they wanted to protect the sport and save it from a huge scandal. That's why I used angelic tongues to persuade my former driver, Nelson Piquet, that's senior, to keep calm for the time being. Back then, there was a rule that a World Championship classification after the FIA awards ceremony at the end of the year was untouchable, so Hamilton was presented with the trophy and everything was fine. We had enough information in time to investigate the matter. According to the statutes, we should have cancelled the race in Singapore under these conditions. That means it would never have happened for the championship standings, and then Felipe Massa would have become world champion and not Lewis Hamilton. Bernie Ecclestone has said that he didn't say that. That's one hell of a quote to make up. And then Ecclestone has done the, no offence to anyone in chat that may be along these lines, but the typical 95-year-old British man or bloody foreigners don't understand what we're saying. He said that this was an interview I gave to someone in Germany, and the guy at the time, his English wasn't that good, and he was taking notes, and it was picked up by someone in England. Again, if you don't know who Bernie Ecclestone is, he's full of shit. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he said what he said. But the thing is, John T, and the reason I'm sort of a little bit more cautious with it is because he may well have said what he said, and probably did say what he said to the German media, but he's also a bit of a shit stirrer. And none of that could have happened, but he might have done it just to stir the pot, because he really doesn't like Liberty Media, does he?
Yeah, a little bit of a shit stirrer is kind of an understatement. I mean, anyone English in the chat who has travelled to Europe, pretty much any of the European countries, particularly Eastern and Northern, so sort of Germany, Denmark, any of the Scandinavian countries, they will know that what Bernie said is bullshit, because every single person who can speak English in those countries can speak English better than anyone from England. That's absolutely not up for debate. I felt like such a commoner when I visited there. It's like, oh, wow, yeah, okay, you speak it better than I do. So that argument of his is completely out the window.
I mean, Red Ravers in chat says, I'm German and I can't think of any combination of words that would mess that quote up.
Yeah. It's not like 3 or 4 words or a single sentence, like a full-on paragraph. It's like, there's a lot there that you can get wrong and it will still say the same thing. There's a lot of words that are interchangeable and it will still come out meaning the same. So it's a very, very weak argument of his. And as we all know, Bernie, historically, very full of shit. The amount of stuff he's come out with over the years is like, Bernie, just shut up. And does that add weight or take weight from Massa's argument? That's the problem. Because he's arguing against the context in which he was giving that quote, saying it was misunderstood, misinterpreted, or what have you. Adds weight to Massa's argument because it's him trying to say, oh, no, I didn't say that. But then he's also going directly with Massa's side saying, I didn't say that. Like, they're kind of contradicting each other because one of them makes him sound like a liar and the other one makes him sound like, well, a liar, but in a different way.
Crazy old man.
It's very difficult. How much weight do you want to give to what Bernie is saying?
The thing is, I mean, I hope when I get to 95, I have the money that Bernie has, but I also hope when I get to 95, I have the attitude Bernie has to just, I'm going to say what I want, tough tits, really. But, I mean, the point I wanted to make about this is that he's talking about the FIA. He's talking about CatCam. He's talking about he's talking about
Can't
who was
resist,
it?
can you?
Max Mosley. He knew. There's some people saying that Charlie Whiting might have known. The problem that Felipe Massa has, not so much Bernie Ecclestone, is that the only two people who, therefore, if Charlie knew, but at least one person who can corroborate that story either way, are dead. So there's nobody can corroborate that story, can they? So it's Bernie's word against Massa's, and unless Felipe's got some incredible evidence, because I can't imagine Bernie would leave a paper trail, unless Felipe's got some incredible evidence, I can't help but feel that whilst I get his chase for justice, he wants the truth to come out, justice to emerge, and wants accountability, I feel like it's a little bit futile. It doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. Apparently he wants about 64 million quid plus interest. The plus interest bit made me giggle. I was like, yeah, it's like my dad when I borrowed £5 off him. But yeah, no, it feels a bit futile to me. I'd like him to get, because I think, isn't he searching for, he doesn't want the title overturned. He wants the official recognition that he is the actual real world champion, but Lewis can keep the trophy, which they're just never going to do that, are they? It feels like either it's completely futile or this is going to get settled out of court before it goes much further.
I don't think it's so much the recognition that he's the real champion. It's more the recognition that shit happens in sport. He got screwed. But in the real world scenario, he lost a lot of money, which isn't unreasonable. I mean, you think about the merchandising and the sponsorship and this, that, and the other deals that you get just from F1 World Champion being added to your name. It's massive. It's a huge amount. I don't think 64 million is that unreasonable. The interest, yeah, that's kind of funny because how do you predict what the markets are going to do 3, 5, 7 years down the line? I mean, in 1 year, it's a different champion the next year, in a lot of cases, so you can't predict that accurately. It's again, as we keep saying, the problem isn't whether he's right or not. It's a case of the precedent it sets. It's like if they rule in favour of, okay, yes, you were screwed over, you should have this money because that's what you would have earned as a champion with regards to marketing. It's the door that opens. Well, if he was screwed over with regards to marketing, then he was screwed over in a sporting sense. So should he actually be champion? It adds weight to that argument. And then it opens the bigger door of, well, who else would actually be champion if we're able to adjust results after the fact? Where does that level up? And it's not in Massa, it's not in his case. It's the judge could turn around and go, well, because I think that you're right in this case, I can rule leaning in favour of a different case, which you could then follow afterwards. Add the ruling of just the money case can add weight to the ruling of a sporting case, and then you get the whole snowball. Again, where does it end? And not just in F1. We have seen stuff like this in the past with a massive amount of fallout. Lance Armstrong, anyone?
Do you know what? Before you even said anything, I was like, he's going to say Lance Armstrong. I know exactly what he's going to say. I mean, we're definitely going to get to the can of worms. I know that's the bit you're excited about, but
yeah, well, I think that's the bit that most people who've asked for this in the chat over the months and months and months are on about. Because where does it end? And we were there for them.
Because we're old.
I think you missed a couple. You were a bit younger, but I was there for all of them. Or all of them that I can remember. I mean, there could be more further in the past if you think about it in certain ways. I mean, I'm sure other people in the chat can think back that far. I know there are some people older than me. I don't know who.
There's maybe one. Bernie. Sorry, Jonty. There is a point. I've got a list of points I wanted to make
Bernie's in the
here.
chat. You're a twat.
Yeah, I've got a list of points I want to make here, but I'm going to give the shout out to Red Raven because he makes a point at the end of his comment, so I will give him the shout out, to be fair. Says, I agree with John T, and also don't think it's as futile as you may think. The point I was going to make was the simple fact that they are talking about it still can already be considered a win for him. That's a great point, even if it goes no further, because the fact that they're listening to him and a court is willing to listen to his case says that there must be some grounds for something, even if it is just a letter from Bernie Eccleston that goes, sorry Felipe, it's something. And I hope, I will say as well, I do hope that Felipe isn't getting bad advice here, because I'm not saying that it'd be easy to manipulate, but it'd be an easy emotion to take advantage of as somebody chasing money as a lawyer. I hope he's got some good people around him advising him well, and I hope he's not. I was going to say, it's only 20 years. Pushing 20 years now, 17 years since it happened. And I feel like this sounds stupid now, but I hope he's not obsessing over it. But clearly he is, because it's been nearly 2 decades. But I hope he's got, he seems like he's got good people around him, but I know what leeches, lawyers and solicitors can be. Not every single one, of course, but but maybe 3. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting where this goes. I'm not sure what the time frame is for when we'll get some news on it. I think it's the official line again is that they are going to wait.
This guy, I think it's months.
Yeah, its judgment will be reserved to be handed down at a future date. It's also not really. I can't imagine it's a case that's a major priority for courts either. So we'll see. We'll see what happens for him. But as you say, John T, I can feel you rubbing your hands together now. Where this leads, that's the big problem. I'll say this straight away. We're not saying that he will win. We're not saying that Lewis Hamilton will lose his championship and Felipe will get it. But what we are saying is, if it were to happen and somebody somewhere went, do you know what, Felipe? Yeah, you know, you are the world champion in 2008. Here's your trophy. Where does this stop? Because we both picked the same 4 years right off the top of our heads, Johnson, before we did anything else today. While we
were chatting last night, I said to Sean last night, right, let's just say, just purely hypothetically that it goes in his favour and they rule that not just the monetary value, but the actual result has to change in his favour, right? I can think of 4 years immediately that suddenly have a case. And Sean replied with the exact 4 years that I was thinking of. How many people in the chat can think of all 4 years? And I know that someone, CPB, has already said 2 of them.
Yeah, go on, chat. What 4 years did me and John T immediately say yesterday? We didn't talk beforehand. We just said, these are the 4. And we knew straight away. Is that a message for you or WhatsApp, John T, by any chance? Oh, no, it's Stuart. No, Stuart, sorry. He's talking about Audi. I'll talk to Stuart later. Hi, Stuart, if you're listening. You're obviously not because you wouldn't have messaged me, but there you go. Rude. Chat, surely.
Why isn't he here?
Yeah, get on the stream. Get on the stream, Stuart. I can't do the camera. I've only got 2 boxes.
Ooh. Someone thrown a spanner in the works. You're not allowed to listen to that one. Fanta Boy. You've got 3 of them. You've got to ignore the 4th because it's wrong. That was fair.
Nah. Not the way Villeneuve deliberately slammed his car into Michael like that. I'm not having it. It's with the whole Jerez thing. I always, you remember Blackadder when I can't remember what the quote is, but it's like brutally accidentally cut his head off while shaving. That's what Villeneuve did to Schumacher. That's the excuse.
I know. Between a couple of people, they've got all 4 of them straight away.
Yeah, because they're obvious.
89, 90, 94, 21. Yeah. The most obvious being 21 for obvious reasons. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are much newer people watching that might not get the references to 94, 89 and 90. But it's the same it's kind of the same thing as Massa's case. We've got information that's come out after the fact, which is, what's the word? Actionable. To say that it's not a legal and fair title. But what, I mean...
Legal's the tricky word in there, because it's a legal title because no rules were broken, precedent was broken, if that makes sense. It's why people call him the human error champion, which I never agree with. The car's behind me, so there you go.
Yeah.
Bias, pure bias.
Yeah, well, that's just to annoy people, and you know that, and you told me that.
It was an expensive thing to annoy people. Specific people,
Like,
very specific people. There are, a couple on Twitter whose names I won't mention, who probably aren't here anymore.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
if we go to 94, again, probably lots of people in the chat who didn't see 94 or weren't around for 94. Hate you. Being young. No, one of the key rules of 94, which actually came in for 94. Did it come for 94? Did it come for 93? Can't remember. But it was the banning of traction control.
94.
Yeah, it came in for 94. Banning of traction control, because before that, cars were taking off from the line like a rocket ship. Like, compared to today, they were just gone. Like, completely different. And lots of people noticed during the course of that season, but also years afterwards, more analysis, that the Benettons always took off like a rocket. No wheel spin, no smoke from their starts, nothing. And there was the rumour that they had managed to make some kind of traction control that wasn't detectable by the current methods.
Yeah.
Make of that what you will. And then it was a good 10 years or so after, one of the Red Bull mechanics, I can't remember his name, I should have looked it up.
Put a book out, hasn't
he? In an interview,
with it
in an interview on the record, he just turned around and said, "Oh yeah, we totally had traction control that year." Like, completely flat out admitted it. And the whole stupid microphone misbehaving. If it goes in his favour, is that then fair game?
Yeah, because
someone has admitted on the record that Benetton were cheating that year. Their car was not legal.
You've got two cases for 94, haven't you? I think most people have immediately gone to Adelaide when you said that, but then you've got the traction control as well. So maybe the Adelaide
I
one's
never
a bit
go to
tougher.
Adelaide.
But no,
the
that's
Adelaide
a bit of
one
a tougher one, isn't it?
A racing incident.
Yeah.
It's a racing incident, that is. 100%.
Senna doesn't make that
One
move.
made a mistake. One made a mistake, tried to grab it back.
Yeah.
The other one was too eager to grab it back. They collided. They both came off the same, because one went out into the wall and the other one had a broken car. It was completely 50-50. As much as a lot of Hill fans don't like to hear that.
That was an inexperienced thing, though, wasn't it, with Hill? And we could do that another day, talk about that sort of thing. But that was, like I say, Senna would never have done that, because he'd have gone, right, well, he must have damaged his car. I'll pass him when he's retired or whatever. Yeah.
But you say Senna, probably not the smartest analogy for that one. Prost would have thought that.
Senna might, yes. Yeah, that's a fair point, yeah.
Speaking of Senna and Prost.
Yeah, and on that note, the funny thing with this one, though, 1990 and 1989, is really all you're doing is just giving them a different trophy, aren't you? Because they just shafted each other, so just swap it all over. Because Senna... And I know we both were pretty, and I said it on the stream on Sunday, I think it was, on the F1 word, we were both really pissed off with the intro they had on Sky at the weekend, when they were sort of like doing the whole, if you no longer go for a gap, blah, blah, blah. That was a Senna interview where effectively he's admitting to cheating. So that would be overturned. And then you've got 1989. Prost insists to this day he took the same line. And I know it comes from the film, but if you watch the replays from the aerial shot, the helicopter camera, Alain Prost does not turn into take his usual line.
He turns in like 70 metres early.
At least.
It's insane how early he turns in. It's completely blatant on purpose. But that's not the issue with this case. Like, again, should Massa's case come to fruition, the issue with 89 is actually Piastri.
Oh, knob.
In my opinion. Because Piastri, after that season... Basically, it wasn't in so many words, blah, blah, blah. But he basically admitted that he abused the rules system so that he could screw Skinner over. He ultimately abused his power. Like,
he was French.
I got the last call.
And he wanted a French world champion.
Yeah. And he was a Nazi arsehole. But all my homies hate Piastri. I think every single driver hated Piastri, including Prost as well, which is weird. like he's one of the most hated people in the entire history of F1. He was just an incredibly horrible man. But
I'll read some chats out as well in a sec.
Where it's on the track that the stuff comes
Yeah.
back. It was,
yeah.
89, Piastri just abused it to say, oh, he didn't do this, this, and this, and didn't do the full race distance. It's kind of the same kind of argument that they tried with Hunt in 76 at the British Grand Prix. They say, oh, he didn't complete the full race distance because of this corner.
That's why they fixed his car, didn't they, in the red flag?
Yeah. But then overturned it later. So he got it back. So the only precedent they had to refer to in 89 gave it to Senna anyway. And then obviously 90, Senna just took out Prost, gave us the whole, if you don't go for a gap. And then a year later said, oh yeah, I took him out.
Past carry at that point, I guess. But
it's the simplest of all four, let's be honest.
Yeah. I'll read some stuff out from chat. A few people put comments in, and I think I want to make sure these midweek streams are as community driven as possible. Chat, you may need to tell us to shut up, because if me and John to get talking on a topic, we'll be here for 4 hours. So feel free to tell us to stop.
As yesterday highlights.
Just have a quick 10 minutes, check everything's set up. Oh my god, it's 20 to 12. Shit, we need to. There will be swearing as well, because I'm not on the F1 word, so we won't drop nasty big
bollocks
stuff. But Cylon Red, hey Cylon, says I love F1 but can't remember the years and their outcomes in any way from memory. Don't know how you guys do it. Asked me what I had for dinner yesterday, couldn't tell you, but I'll tell you what happened in the 97 season. It's very strange. It's very, very strange.
Well, old and boring, that's how I remember.
Fanta Boy says, can't believe 21 didn't pop in my head immediately, given it was my first season watching F1. Marta got a couple right, 94 and 90. Probably not 2021, because if Abu Dhabi were voided, Max wins anyway. That's the other thing. I want to talk about that about Singapore 2008, because it's what action you would take, because you void it and Lewis Hamilton did nothing wrong, doesn't get a title. You leave it as it is. Felipe Massa, who did nothing wrong in that instance, doesn't get a title. As a minimum, and I'm going to say it again before I come to more of your comments, Fernando Alonso, even though he did nothing wrong, should not have that win, because he only won because his team cheated. But anyway, Red Raver says 14, 90, 74 and 54. No, wait, that's our national team's World Cup win. Sorry. All right, back off. 66. Just keep saying 2 World Wars, 1 World. Anyway.
Hang on. 14, 90, 74, 54. World Cup win. There wasn't a World Cup. Oh, 2014. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not 1914. No. 2014 World Cup, yeah. 2018, 22. 2010 was Italy, wasn't
Argentina.
It?
I can't remember. You're testing me now. Completely out of nowhere.
No worries, Josh. Says can't listen live or download later. No worries, mate. Take care. You're having a good one. Catherine says Newey admits in his book he worked on his new team's car and made drawings before his previous gardening leave and finished. There's so many levels of cheating. There's cheating, but then there's bending the rules. And Adrian Newey's clever enough to bend the rules,
Germany.
Not cheat.
For God's sake. Of course it's Germany. Why wouldn't I remember Germany in 1990?
How did you not know that one? CPB, we'll get a few comments with CPB. He wanted this topic really badly. So I almost kind of wish that's what happened in real life, so that Prost could have won in a Ferrari. I was going to say, a couple have said it in chat as well, that 94 was the traction control ban, because, of course, that's why Senna went to Williams. And then they banned it conveniently after he moved. And he really struggled with that car, didn't he? Really, no points in the first.
And also, who was still in charge then?
Balestra? Let's take a couple more super quickly. I just see one that I'm not going to find now. I'll save that one, Simon. We'll save that for the next topic. If that precedent takes place and Lewis wins the 21 season, then job done. We can go home now, Society Canvas. And Cylon says, who is more full of shite, Jacques Villeneuve or Bernie? Bernie.
Oh, Christ. There's a hard question. Definitely Bernie, but...
Historically, Bernie. Right now, Jack.
Not last weekend. It wasn't last weekend. It was Mexico that Jack was back with Sky, wasn't it?
I don't watch the build-up when he's on.
I don't know what happened. Because there was one race earlier in the season when Jack joined Jack for F2 commentary. And he was brilliant. He was genuinely enjoyable to listen to. You know, had great comments. and was really interesting. And then he came back in at Mexico, and all I wanted to do was punch him in the face. It's like, what? Like, you've always been kind of one of the annoying pundits, but you managed to sort it out earlier in the year. Why are you a cock again? Make your mind up.
So, from what I've learned over the last year, being sort of on the inner circle, is that because you're a bit more regulated about what you can and can't say on F1 versus Sky? Official F1 versus Sky? Maybe.
Okay, forget that.
Yeah, if you follow what I'm saying. They don't control what you say, but there is a... Yeah, let's leave it there before I get myself in trouble.
Yeah. Staying on the topic, Moray is absolutely right. There is no precedent for deleting a race in F1 history. It's absolutely true.
We all deleted Belgium 2021 mentally.
I mean, we should delete Belgium 2021. Absolute farce. But it's... But this is the whole question of, like, if it goes in his favour, where does it stop? I mean, how far back do you go? Don't forget things like the P34 Tyrrell, 6 wheels. Won a couple of races and was subsequently banned in the middle of a season. I mean, how is that fair?
Ferrari engine 2019 that had that out of court settlement.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother kind of worms.
Or not out of court settlement, out of...
I mean, oh, God, that was just ridiculous.
That resulted... Was it 8 teams that wrote a letter to the FIA, or 9 teams all signed saying we want all this information released, and they never did? And then Ferrari magically in 2020 was terrible.
Except Ferrari.
Bizarre.
I mean, that one was kind of comical, where all the teams... Everyone at the tracks, everyone watching on TV, all knew that they were doing something dodgy with the smoke coming in everywhere. And then all of a sudden, magically out of nowhere, the smoke stops happening and the car's a dog and has no power. Like, you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to do the sums here.
I think, my big concern over the Massa thing is if something were to come from it, is what... Also, how minor do you go? Do we stop at just World Championships or races? Or how long is it before somebody goes, well, I don't think I should have got that penalty in that race, which cost me 6 points, which would have won me the title? And how messy is it going to get? Yeah. It's why I don't think the FIA will but I don't think the FIA will let it get to that. Well, I suppose, get it to that point before they settle if they have to. If it looks like Massa's going to win it, I think... the FIA will step in and be like, oh, would you like 74 million plus interest? Let's shake on it now and keep quiet, because otherwise they're going to have a long, like it's the headmaster's office, a long queue outside of drivers going, excuse me, Damon Hill first in line.
And again, Murray makes a point of you'd have to delete every race where there was an illegal car. And there is weight to that, because an illegal car is an illegal car. So it could be defined as race fixing because you intentionally made your car not legal. But then it gets into the weeds of, did they directly interfere with someone else's race? Like 2008, Singapore, obviously, the forcing of that safety car caused everyone to come rushing into the pits and extra pressure pit stop, and Ferrari screwed up. No. We know what we all know all about Ferrari. It wasn't them yet. Ferrari was still good at the time, ish. And that the action of the deliberate crash did directly influence other cars' races. But take something like the Tyrrells in the 80s that were running the 100 pounds of lead shot in their water tank to make the car legal, that they put in after the race but before the car was weighed. That's not directly affecting someone else's race, but they're still getting a better result from it. It's kind of difficult.
Just bringing it back to present day super quickly, Jonty. Sorry, the livery's out. Don't get excited.
Oh, they managed to fix the website.
Yeah,
Yay!
it's out. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm bringing it back to present day just because I know we'll keep an eye out for it. But don't get too excited. That's a concept to me. I can't imagine that's an actual official. This is what we're going to run.
There's no way that's the real livery, ever. Not in a million years.
Let me see if I steal one of F1's pictures. What's going on the side of it? But
instead of blue, white, red, and black, it's silver, red, and black. It's the manor from 2015.
And what's with the hard line between the silver, the black, and the red on the side shot? It's just a hard, solid line straight. It's like I did it on Photoshop with my skills.
Put it on the screen. Everyone needs to see.
I'm just trying to. I will have to do this live, so I'm so sorry. You're gonna get a massive picture and then nothing.
Right-click, save as. It's not that difficult.
No, I mean getting it into the stream because that'll be massive and it'll fill up the whole screen. And I don't mean to, so I'm sorry. I could have done it in studio mode, but I'm not that bright. It'll build tension.
Just display capture. That'll do. Everyone deserves a laugh. Everyone who's come to actually listen to us needs a laugh. Because my God, what is that?
That's the side shot of it. Because that just screams back marker, says CPV. I mean, I like the idea of going with like sort of the McLaren chromey silver they used to have, but that's just absolutely, that's not the real livery. Obviously, no sponsors on it. If they run that at the start of next season, I'll do a forfeit on stream because do you think it didn't render the front, says Marta? It looks awful. Absolutely awful. Jennifer says, what on earth? Kevin says it's cool, but then Kevin loves the Constructors' Championship, so, you know, what can you say about Kevin?
Yeah, as I've just named it on Blue Sky, baby's first Forza livery.
It's pretty bad, but yeah. I'll leave that up for a minute.
I'm kind of opposite to repeat. I like the colour combination, but do something with it. Not just 3 blocks.
It needs sponsors.
It could be
obviously.
Really cool.
Do you know what's better? That original concept livery they released when they launched the team. The black livery with the silver stripes and the red wings, and that's better than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was pretty similar to the one that F1 itself was using to show off the 2022.
Yeah.
Homologation, not the actual cars, because all the teams would be a bit different. But the homologation car, where the floor was actually red, that I thought was awesome. And more teams need to do that. They won't because paint is heavy.
I guess isn't it just that's just revealing their brand identity, surely. This is the colours we'll run. But if you didn't know Audi were going to run silver, red, and black by this point, in some form as their brand identity, then I don't know what to tell you. Not pretty. I'm going to take it off screen. It's that vile. There we go. Awful.
Yeah, you compare that to the last, as Red Raven says, compare that to the last Audi WEC livery, and that was an awesome looking thing.
Terrible.
It's nice that we managed to get 44 minutes into a stream for them to actually fix a website. I mean, it might have been 10 minutes ago, but
where were we? Well, F1 shared it 2 minutes ago, or 4 minutes ago now. It was 2 minutes when I got it, so it's fairly recent.
Did it? Hang on, even on their F1 project website that's now working, where you can register your interest.
They've still got the old
your email for some reason. No, I think it's this one, but from the front it looks a lot better because there's a red opening in the side pods and there's a red opening in the airbox on the top, and it looks a lot cooler. But it's probably because it hasn't got those dead square cutoffs. Like, my God,
it's not pretty. It might be fine once it's been refined and got some sponsors on it, and we get the actual design, because it'll be dictated by the sponsors, of course. But still, I mean, if that's your brand, if you're revealing the brand, I'd rather you just put out a colour palette rather. I just said this is what we're going to be running this year, rather than whatever that is. I mean, it's sort of how it is, 3 blocks of colour, isn't it? But yeah, that wasn't worth the wait.
Someone should get sponsored by Pantone and have every single colour on it. every Pantone license colour on the car all at once. That'd be fun.
Could be a laugh. It'd be a mess. Call
All
BAR,
thing
they'll
is
know.
what happened. The whole thing is what happened in '84. I'm gonna guess that's a typo for '94 because all I can remember happening in '84 is Lauda won the title without pole.
Is that a stat?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Quite a cool fact.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Lauda won the title in '84 without ever getting pole position.
Yeah, if it's 94, it's the Benetton. At the time, allegedly, but since apparently pretty factually running track control, confirmed allegedly. Yeah, and what happened in Adelaide basically is 94 was a bizarre year.
Bloody cat. I'm sorry, I'm just dealing with a cat.
That's all right. People like cats, and my dog's downstairs asleep, so
yeah. Yeah, you see, with the new channel, it needs to be more Baxter cam.
We have to have a back. We'll get a Baxter cam for testing. We'll get it in like the bottom corner. But all it's going to be is him sitting down here by my leg, waiting for a treat. That's all it's going to be, staring. And you'll all be coming to Lincoln to bring him treats because it'll be just ridiculous. But,
anyway, where were we?
Yeah,
we were talking about the court case.
Specific. Let's wrap up on it with some comments from chat and some other things, because this will inspire us in something. Then we're going to take some questions for the community section.
We haven't reached any kind of conclusion.
Well, we're going to come back. We are going to come to that.
I don't know, maybe.
We will come back to that. I promise. That'll be how I round it off completely. But I want to see if anybody in chat says something that makes us go, oh, hang on a second. CPB says if Alonso was disqualified in Singapore, then Rosberg wins and Lewis gets P2 on the podium instead of P3, so he benefits as well. Yep. I don't think Massa would. I think Massa would want more than that, wouldn't he? But DSQ Renault, that is it. I have spoken, says Martin. The thing with that as well, Renault didn't really get punished. I think they got fined, but wasn't their suspension suspended? So McLaren got a bigger penalty for Spygate than Renault got for literally fixing a race.
Directly, yes.
Yeah.
But it's the subsequent stuff. Because if you remember, within a month, ING had dropped the sponsorship. Yeah. Someone else had dropped the sponsorship. You know, they were $80 million down the pan within a month. So...
But that should be on top of.
It's still not a direct penalty. That's just the repercussions of what they did.
Kevin says, conclusion is, give him a plastic trophy and 50 million bucks and a hoe and tell him to go away. I assume he means the gardening equipment, of course, there. So, keen gardener Felipe.
I mean, that's all he's really after. I think... I've got this feeling that if they were to rule in his favour with regard to the money, he wouldn't push it further, but it would be sort of a personal gratification to him to say, all right, they've agreed with me on this, so yeah, I'm the champion.
Yeah.
He'll know it himself. Kind of in a similar way that, time to make people angry.
I'm going to leave.
In a way that with 2021, no matter what happens, deep down in the pit of his soul, Max knows he didn't win fairly. He would never admit it. He's a sportsman. He's designed to win. He will take any chance he gets. And he personally did nothing wrong. You know, he just drove the car.
From a racing perspective...
But deep down in his soul, he knows it's not legit.
From a racing perspective, it was Hamilton who did wrong by leaving the door wide open at turn 5. If we ignore everything else and just look at the racing itself, but in terms, I don't know, I'm just saying, just the race, the on-track stuff itself, ignore all the politics around it, obviously safety car, etc., etc. But it's, I don't know. I don't know, Max.
Turn 5, turn 7, turn 9, I don't think it made any difference. One of them, he would have got past him. We're talking a 3.5 to 4 second delta. It was going to happen. It was going to happen.
Red Raven disagrees, says Max is too ruthless to think like that.
I think he wants everyone to think like that, and it's in his benefit for people to think that way. It really is in his benefit to think that way. because that means that people will be less likely to fight him on track, make his moves easier. And that's the kind of psychological training that sports people put themselves through. It's that kind of thinking, and having professionals train them to think that way that got Rosberg his title. You know, that he's completely said as much. I mean, it completely changed him as a person for quite a while, because it absolutely eradicated any kind of fair thinking that he had in his mind. It was win at any cost. It's very, very, difficult when the whole psychology gets into it. And people are right, this is the thing with these sorts of situations. Both sides are right. What if Lewis could have pitted? Yeah, he could. He could have made that call himself. The team could have made that call for him. But would that have been the right call? What would Massa have done in that situation if they both pitted? If only Lewis had pitted? What's to say that, Lewis pitted, and he was went, well, we'll just leave it as it is, and no one's let through, and we just go as it is. Because we come back to the fact that Massa had two options, exactly two. Leave the order exactly as it is. No overtake, no lapped cars overtake, and you get a lap at the end. Or let all the lapped cars overtake, and you finish under yellow. Those were the two legal options. And he went with this imaginary thing in the middle because he just wanted to try and finish under green because we need a spectacle.
Well, not imaginary, but it was the regulations. This might surprise everybody.
Oh, no, it is imaginary.
No, the regulations allowed him to do
nothing. That. No, they didn't.
They did. And
that was the whole crux of the any doesn't mean all, blah, blah, blah. Any does mean all in that situation.
That's what I mean. The regulations allowed him to interpret it that way. The regulations were too grey in that
badly
area.
Written.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's not a surprise.
Yeah, I mean the argument that what was it? I used to come back to people with when they were arguing that point, and they didn't like my response. What was it? Because it was the whole here's a bowl, right, with 100 Skittles. Two of them will poison you and kill you. But I can't exactly remember it. I
was going to say, do you eat the bowl of
Skittles? Because it's been 4 years of just blocking people who scream about it. To be quite honest.
Do you know
I tried to make a rationed argument, and I can't remember exactly what it was now. My brain's gone.
That's not even the bit that annoys me, the shout about it. It's the fact that people will, because I'm sure I'll get somebody comment it, but it's like we could sit here and talk about Singapore 2008 for an hour, but if we talk about Abu Dhabi for 10 minutes, it'll be, you're still going on about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we were just about 1990 a minute ago, and you think that we're bothered about that? I mean, I also could have just say as well, very quickly, I do really appreciate the irony of being a Max Verstappen fan in a Mercedes shirt defending Max Verstappen. I think there is a little bit of irony there. I quite enjoy that, so there you go. But
in a room with red lights and... Yeah, in a room with red lights and 4 shelves full of Ferraris.
I'm just a fuss to cluck all through. Back to the point, though. I wanted to, because Red Ravens sort of come to a conclusion. So get your conclusions in chat. What do you think will happen? Where does this lead? Blah, blah, blah. We'll give our conclusions. Red Raven says, here is my prediction. Buckle in. Massa will be forced to settle out of court, and the history books, while noting Hamilton as champion, will note the 2009 season as legally contested. I guess 2008 season as legally contested. Yeah. That's the conclusion there from Red Raven. Don't worry, Sean, that'll be acceptable in 2027. Oh. Yep, I agree. He'll be there. Or Mercedes for Max.
Well, that's the whole thing mentioning 2009. Again, what about situations where the rules have been changed or not changed in the middle of a season? Where does it lead to on that point? Think about things about the BT46 raced once, won. Everyone complained. It wasn't officially banned, but Brabham were encouraged to withdraw it. Someone else was involved in that. I wonder who this person is who seems to be involved in all of this shit. Bernie. It makes it the Tyrrell P34 and the Renault's mass damper 2005-6, where it's banned halfway through the season. How do the this is me just rambling now, I admit, but how do they rationalize the entire season being fair when, like, oh, you've won like 5 races because of this thing, we're going to ban that thing now, but those 5 races still stand? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I guess the it's not the caveat, but the point that we made to that, or the argument to that, is that when they won the race, the car was legal in the regulations. But I completely know what you're getting at. If the car was illegal yesterday, was legal yesterday, but it's not today, why is yesterday okay, kind of thing? I get what you mean, but I think that's the whole. Well, it was legal when, like DAS. DAS was legal when they ran it, but they couldn't run it the following year. But it became illegal. It's a very. I get what you mean.
Yeah. Again, there's Fighting Golf Balls. Amazing name. It says effed up, and McLaren's, I presume, third brake pedal.
Yeah.
Or second. Yeah, second brake pedal, but third pedal, which was for the rears, I think.
Also predicts that nothing will happen. It's not the place of the UK courts to rule on this. I slightly disagree in that Bernie is a UK guy and Enstone is based in the UK. So I think the courts would have to have. I think the UK courts have a right to if Felipe goes to them. But they, to me, this should have been appealed to French courts because that's where the FIA are based and they're the governing body. To me, but I agree and disagree on that point.
Yeah, I agree with the point you're making, but it should be French courts.
Yeah. Not Singapore.
Yeah, because FIA is registered in Paris. So.
Yeah. CPB, whose stream this is, says this will end when Massa wins a stock car title at Interlagos and Lewis will be the one to present him the trophy. Oh, why do I feel like that'd be a real kick in the nuts? My trophy's bigger than yours, and I've got more of them. So V-Cross says, so basically if they disallow the results of the Singapore Grand Prix, Massa will win the World Championship. I doubt they would do it, but it will yield interesting ramification for 2021. Exactly, that's the can of worms we're talking about. It's not as simple as if Massa were to win that and get his title that he feels he deserves. It's what comes after that intrigues me and John T way more, because he was absolutely screwed by that. He's got a right to be angry. It was a mistake. I watched the race back today. By the way, that race was pretty shit, apart from that big moment. But anyway,
it was
so boring. Not a lot happened outside of that. It was all penalty.
Alonso won it in, at best, the sixth fastest car on the grid. I mean, come on, how exciting could it be?
He cheated, but I think the thing I was going to say was that it just Massa was shafted by the green light, yes. Which came on, then went straight off again. He took the fuel hose with him. But it was also shafted by, and I do want to talk about it briefly, the ridiculous safety car pit stop regulation we used to have. So if nobody knows what that is, or people are new, basically the safety car would come out, the pit lane would in essence close. It didn't officially close, but effectively close. But you could pit if you needed fuel. But if you pitted to get fuel, you would get a 10-second stop-go penalty because they preferred that rather than you stopping on track and retire. Your choices were stop on track and retire or pit and get a penalty. It was so stupid. Then they would open the pit lane after the field had punched up behind the safety car, which then allowed people who anticipated it with a couple of laps in advance, like Fernando Alonso, to leapfrog everybody. So it was just a complete. You may as well have drawn straws. It really was that. It's such a stupid rule.
TLDR, for anyone who wasn't around watching then, in the noughties, F1 experimented with a lot of really, really stupid rules. Like, phenomenally stupid. Like, you've probably heard it before from Shaw talking on his channel, other creators talking on his channel, or the broadcast. But if you haven't, one of the years, they banned pit stops for tyres. Just let that sink in. They banned pit stops for tyres. How stupid is that? It's never going to work, and it caused one of the most embarrassing moments in the entire history of Formula One itself. For Formula One, not for the teams. They can just do what they can try to do. I have massive respect for all of the Michelin running teams because it was a safety issue. No, Murray. No one's ever banning tyre talk time.
No. It'll have to move over here if the other one falls apart, because I think I would actually be lynched if I got rid of tyre talk. It's the only thing keeping your channel alive. I love this from Kevin, by the way. So he says the conclusion is we don't want anything to do with this. Go talk to the French. Yeah, just life in general. That one, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So what I'll do some chats in a minute.
That's the Vikings in 1066.
What's your conclusion then, Jonty? What do you, because we've done this for an hour, that's what I thought, do an hour of this and then a good half hour, 45 minutes of Q&A and that, but what's your conclusion, or what do you think is going to come from this realistically? Tricky, I know. Nothing. It's a tough question, but
I honestly don't think anything will come from it. I don't think, provided the ruling, with it being a business, it won't really have a jury, will it? It'll just be a presiding judge.
Yeah.
Over a case like this. And assuming they've done enough research and reading on the facts of the case, the surrounding information of the case, how Formula One is, I don't think they can rule in his favour. I really don't. I would like him to get some kind of validation, but I don't think I want it to come from a court case because of the potential disaster it opens up with other years that are suddenly viable for a case. You know, they rule in his favour, all of a sudden Mercedes are on the phone, Ferrari are on the phone, McLaren are on the phone, Williams are on the phone, like, oh my God, here we go. It's just going to be a disaster. I mean, as far as 2021 goes, as Canvas says, if like this became a precedent, okay, we're going to nullify this race, and Lewis is still a 7-time champion. He loses 2008, gets 2021. No, it just creates a massive mess, and I really don't think they would deal with it. And because of the nature of the sport, again, we referenced Lance Armstrong, it's a little bit different. It's a single person, it's not a team thing, there's far less money involved. And they can quite easily just go, right, you're out, next guy gets it. You know, there's a lot less of, you know, they don't directly impact other competitors' races. Yes, someone can fall and take someone out, and if it was someone who was doping, who fell and took other people out, but it's a far less likely thing. It's not something that happens quite regularly and you know, with little clips, you know, sending someone off track, taking someone out turn one, what have you. It happens a lot more that one competitor impacts the other directly.
I think so. From my side, the absolute maximum that comes out of this is he gets his money. But the problem is, legally, that wouldn't be an admission of guilt, if you like, from the FIA, but everyone would see it as an admission of guilt. So they're not going to want to pay that up easily. But I think maybe like Red Raven says, futile's the wrong word. But I just don't expect to see, certainly not any kind of championship being overturned. I don't think that's where this will go. I can't absolutely see him getting the money, and I think that at most he might get a sticker that says you're the real 2008 world champion from Bernie through the post in sarcasm, because he's a knob like that. But I just
gold star, well done.
Basically, but I sort of do applaud him for trying it, because he says himself,
I don't really think anyone's tried that much before.
No.
There's been some court cases, but never gone this far and this long after, as far as I'm aware.
So I had to cough for a second there. But he's also kind of said he just wants justice. He wants some accountability. And he also felt at the time something was fishy about it, which, according to him, if I've got the quotes right, is that he went to Jean Todt and said, this doesn't sit right, something's wrong, and Jean Todt says, no, we're not gonna. A bit like Williams refused to, not the same situation, but in the same way that, Senna went to Williams and said that Benetton's illegal, and Williams went, we're not going to protest it. In the same sort of way, he went to Todd, and Todd was like, no, that's not the case. And I think, yeah, I just don't think it'll go anywhere. I just hope that he's got the right people around him and advising him properly. He doesn't obsess too much over it. And there is a little bit of me, I'm not going to lie, there is a little bit of me that, whilst I applaud him, and I am a big Felipe Massa fan, I obviously as a Ferrari fan, gutted he didn't win it, but really like the guy. But there is a bit of me that's sort of like, Felipe, I get it. You're pissed. Bernie's a knobhead. Just move on, because it's not. I mean, to be fair, that said, to be fair to him, he did move on, but then Bernie made those stupid comments.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe that was a bit unfair on me, but it's been nearly 20 years, which is terrifying as a prospect, by the way. But yeah, I feel for him so much, but I can't see how this goes anywhere, because it just puts the FIA in an impossible position. They can't pay anything out, because then they look guilty, even though legally they wouldn't be. They can't, if this goes further and he looks like he's going to win, they're going to have people queuing up at the door saying, well, what about this one? What about this one? It makes the FIA look bad, the sport look bad. I can't see it going anywhere. I just a little bit of me wouldn't mind it, because I think it would make some great streams with you, John T. But I just, no, I can't see it, to be honest. As opposed to lying.
Ultimately, regardless of how much you support Massa's efforts or case, or don't support Massa's efforts and case, it boils down to how much weight and trust do you want to put in the word of an actual arsehole in Bernie Ecclestone. I mean, make no mistake, this is an unpleasant man. I mean, one of the shockingly lesser known incidents, Belgium, I'm going to get the year wrong now. I want to say 1982. It might be 81. With one dead mechanic from falling from the pit wall and being hit. And then when the crew, all the pit crews tried to make an issue about this, Bernie was just like, oh, no, we're not delaying the race for any of your sort of military science or any of that. And because of that, another mechanic was hit and nearly killed, where he got sandwiched in the back of another car. I mean, one of the most horrific things you can ever imagine. All because Bernie was like, I don't care. This is a deeply unpleasant person.
Yeah. He's a character, they call him, if they're being polite.
Yeah. It almost feels like every time news gets just kind of level and even and strictly sporting about Formula One, Bernie pops up. He goes, oh, by the way, and comes out with a load of shit.
He's still bitter about selling to Liberty Media, even though that was ultimately his decision, because it was his sport. He's weird.
Oh, yeah,
Very
definitely.
Weird.
Yeah, he's bitter because he sold it for, I think, what was it, 4.8 billion?
Well, that's what
Mercedes
are worth now.
And 3 years later, the sport's worth 20 billion. It's like, you done screwed up.
Because
that's a hell of a lot.
Because for all the criticism we've given them over the years, Liberty Media absolutely dialed into the right areas to make money. And that's why, and that improved the sport. I mean, look, can you remember the knee-jerk 2007 rules change with the aero?
Yeah.
That was probably one of Liberty's biggest, most stupid things they did, because that was ridiculous. Then the cars just became impossible to overtake. I know, weird, isn't it? So glad we're past that stage.
Where have we seen that before?
Well, the what?
Where have we seen that before?
Well, yeah. Next year. It's going to be fun. Let's do some comments then. And then we're going to move on to some questions. And I'm sure somebody will ask something about this and we'll come back to it. If you are just tuning in, thank you very much. It's a Wednesday Waffle. I've never done them on this channel. It's been a long time since I've done them on the other channel. And we are basically just talking nonsense about Formula One for 2 hours. So we'll do them a bit more regularly than we used to.
Yeah. I'll pick out CPB's first because he's been asking it since the start. Which was... Which one's Darth such and such? Type it again, CPB, because I can't find it.
No, I know the one I mean. Who is the bigger Darth Sidious of Formula One, Bernie or Balestra?
Balestri, Bernie's Darth Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar.
I'm not going to give him the credence of being a powerful Sith. Screw him.
Kevin says the conclusion is Jonty frowns when he thinks of Jean-Marie Balestra and Bernie Ecclestone. He does more than frown.
Fair.
You can't see his hands.
No, that's perfectly fair.
Middle finger everywhere.
I frown a lot, though. I'm quite animated with my eyebrows, to be honest.
When I first met you on the interweb, you were Jonty Old Man's Face, so
yeah,
that was your name. Yeah. 2008 was a dodgy season, says Sighted Canvas. Yep.
It was.
Is he doing it because he's having money troubles and needs a few million? Says Rye9, yes, and a Netflix money afterwards. That he could do a Netflix thing about it. There you go. Massa, the documentary.
I mean, there's that would make some sense. Don't get me wrong, but you have to think after 7 seasons, 7 seasons with Ferrari, wasn't it? Joined them in 06 or 07.
His first season was alongside Michael Schumacher, so 06. His first season with Ferrari was 06, yeah.
That's 6 years then. Because he was alongside Alonso.
He left, Raikkonen came in to Ferrari in 14. He was still at Lotus in 13,
7,
so yeah.
Yeah, so 7. 7 years of driving for Ferrari. You can't be short of a few quid, can you?
No.
It's not like they're taking a pay driver now.
It's why Kimi went back.
Yeah.
Got his 20 million payout, so they could get rid of him earlier. Then he came back and got paid again. That's how you do that.
I mean, I don't think he needs the money. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he's doing good humanitarian work with it, which I wouldn't put past him. To be quite honest, he seems like that kind of guy.
David,
I'll make it clear, I've been a fan of Massa for a while, and I do feel sorry for him in this situation. And I do feel sorry because he was never the same after 2009.
No, oh God, no. He never won again, did he?
That really affected him.
No,
not once. And that was horrible. Watching that live was truly horrible because, again, a lot of the people who are watching or following me on Twitter know how safety focused I am. I have this sixth sense for such things. I knew immediately something was wrong. The fact that there was tire marks on the grass but not the road, so it's not gripping there, it is gripping the road. That tells you immediately he's not conscious. Something really, really wrong. I spot these things immediately, and it was horrible. And then when it came out about the spring, Christ. And then when people inevitably leak the bloody photos online, oh my God, and you can't avoid it. I would have been happier not seeing them, to be quite honest. And then years later, you've got Keanu Reeves making the bloody Brawn documentary, and Massa's like, here's the helmet, it's still covered in blood. Sake.
It was the you saw the crash that's big, and that you could hear the engine still revving, and you were like, oh shit. Yeah. I mean,
at first I thought he'd had a heart attack or something, because there was no other logical explanation at the time. Yeah, Kevin, it was Hungary 2009.
Yeah.
Coming out of turn 3.
Practice or quali? It was practice or quali, wasn't it? It was one of the two.
I think it was quali. Because practice wasn't shown live on the BBC at the time.
Oh, of course it wasn't. No.
It might have been on BBC Two or early Red Button or something. But yeah, 1 kilogram spring out the back of the Brawn just fell out. I mean, that's the most shocking part. How does a heave spring just fall out?
Well, that wasn't that.
And
that
the car
Brawn
not
was
fly off the track at 150 miles an hour.
That Brawn was held together by speed tape and hopes and prayers, wasn't it?
True.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was Barrichello's. But I mean, the heat spring of the rear suspension. So that's effectively the spring that's holding the suspension, like holding the car off the ground. you've got that central spring between the push rods. Push rods? Yeah, push rods. With that coming out, the whole car should have just dropped onto the floor. As far as I understand it, there's probably a lot more details going into the suspension geometry. The fact that he just got back to the pits without the car spearing off the road is quite a miracle, to be quite honest. Yeah, different topic. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's all right because we could. That's the tism
brain.
Make a note of it, and we can come back to that, Jonty, because that's another stream in itself. Safety failings by the FIA. Don't want to do
don't do safety. You don't want a safety stream because we'll be here talking for 14 hours.
Testing. There you go. Got 6 days.
2 hours every day for a month.
We'll do it testing. That's 6 days. 8 hours.
Sorry.
David says, I also don't expect it to win anything, but I applaud him for making a point. Also said there are several, let's put it this way, circumstantial piece of evidence that F1 top brass knew Singapore was fishy. Nothing will come of it, says Red Raven, enabling John to publish the book, The True All-Time Standards of F1 Without All the BS Cheating, asterisk, that we know of. Which is about right. I remember watching it, Kev Barrichello's car. Where we got? I remember that. Yep, talk about Barrichello, Massa. Anything else on Massa 2008, chat? If not, we'll swap the slides over and we'll go talking about.
That's
go on. What?
That's a clever point from Morey.
Which one?
I do think the Fernando is faster than you race might harm Massa, as it shows he's also willing to fix a race illegally. Yeah.
Insert EastEnders
At the time that happened. At the time that happened,
'twas illegal.
Team orders were illegal. It was a coded message. 100% and 100% illegal.
Not very good code, by the way.
Smedley didn't do any favours for making it sound any less bad. Oh, well done.
Fernando
Thanks for doing that.
Is faster
Very
than
magnanimous.
You.
Good lad. Jesus.
No, it's the worst code ever because everybody in the world knew what it meant. It's a bit like when Ferrari say we are on plan C, and it's like, they started on plan C. They never had a plan A and B. It's Ferrari. Yeah. So a couple of people saying they thought they had a different image of me in their head. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or...
No. Everyone will say that about me.
It's all fine. But yeah, let's move on to Q&A.
I always take that as a compliment because I just think if you were imagining this, what the hell is wrong with you?
Get your questions in chat. I'll read some from the community post I put out last week. Not last week. Last day. Or yesterday, as people say in English. Last day will do, but yesterday. We had a couple in there that we quite liked. And it actually sent us down a bit of a rabbit hole yesterday, didn't it, John T?
Oh, yeah. The post, God damn it.
Fastest lap. Yeah. So there was one question, and it came from, where are you? I've lost you. There we go. It was from MSC. I always say Biles, but I don't know if I'm right. But it said, would there actually be an effect of still giving bonus points for fastest lap this year? And it's a really good question because it got us really into some stuff yesterday. Boring answer is no.
No.
It doesn't do anything.
Well, we did some maths, chat. We did some maths. And we have found out the perfect scenario for the next 2 races to go. Because we have 2 races spare until Abu Dhabi. And we have figured out the exact results we need from, 2 races plus a sprint.
Can I read it?
If you got it written down exactly as we figured it out. And as things are. Please tell me you typed it up so that you can actually put it on screen.
I haven't put it on screen, but I could read it out, so it's okay. But it's in a Word doc. So basically, we've got the 3 races, like Jonty says. We know what the championship looks like. It's been scrolling on the screen. But we worked out that if Norris was to DNF from both Vegas and Qatar and only score 2 points in the sprint, If Piastri wins one of those races, DNS from the other, and only scores 1 point in the sprint, and Max Verstappen wins the other Grand Prix, wins the sprint, and finishes second in that Grand Prix that Piastri wins, we could go to Abu Dhabi with 3 drivers tied on 392 points. Now, we know that's never going to happen.
It's not.
But my God, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Michael Massey, get your ass down there straight away.
Yeah, not going to happen, but it is mathematically possible to have a 3-way tie going into the last race, which I don't think anyone's ever had. It can't have happened.
We've only ever had two championships have been tied, haven't they? At the end, they were both between 2 drivers. Is it 2 or 3?
I honestly think it's only one. We've had several that have been 1 point apart going into the last race, but I can only think of 2021 where they were actually tied. There's got to have been another one, surely.
I don't think... Dave says, I did see someone work out a situation where the end of the season was tied and Max won on races 1. I don't think Max can win on races 1. I think Lando's win last time stops that. On races 1.
Oh, hang on. No, it could happen. Oh,
Are we sure?
No, it can't.
I think Max is too far off now.
If Max would have to win all 3. So that makes him win anyway. Max can win 2 and then suck out in Abu Dhabi and have the other 2 get enough points to make it even. But then in that situation, all 3 of them would be on 7 races won. Which would be even more complicated. We tried to go through that last night as well. And we didn't actually know how it goes, because we know you go count back on first, second, third down the places. But at what point do poles, fastest laps, and sprints come in? I think that was the key. We were trying to think about how the count back would go. Where do the sprints come into that? Surely they should, how much weight do you, chat, think sprints should have in countback? Because surely a sprint win of 8 points has got to be worth more than a 15th place of a regular race. Right.
You start to put Max on 8 wins if he won all 3, so he would win it anyway. So if he could win 2 of them, and then Piastri and Norris not win, and then he could win on countback if the points go that way. So yeah, that is possible, to be fair. Sorry about that. I got my maths wrong, but yeah. No, it could. But that would just be incredible. Just the idea of a 3-9-2 split, 3 between 3 drivers in the finale in Abu Dhabi, and then George Russell does nothing and still wins it. No. And then McLaren will somehow still shit the bed despite having 2 opportunities to win it and keep Verstappen at bay. So when I talk about Max not being in it, it's a long shot, but he could go into the final race tied with the other 2. So we can't completely rule him out. Red Raven's already getting ready to punch me. Sick of me saying you can't write Max off until it's completely mathematically impossible. But yeah. I tell you what, I'm doing a race watch along for Abu Dhabi. If that is the scenario, I can promise you that for nothing. That would be hilarious. I wish I'd done the race watch along for 2021. That could have been fun, but that's incredible. It's never going to happen.
I'll do a race watch along for Las Vegas as long as chat can give me like $100 worth of coffee.
Or just $100.
That's gonna be a hard race to get up for. It was bad enough last time.
4 a.m.
the
start.
Extra hour early. Yeah.
Nah.
There you go. I can't speak for any other nation, but UK-based chat and presumably Europe-based chat, who are an hour ahead. So, what's your choice? Do you stay up or do you get up?
I'm staying up.
If you usually stay up till about 1 a.m, it's not that much later. And getting up is much harder. I don't know.
This just dawned on me there. We're sat here, we're going on random topics, we're waffling away, I'm looking at the chat, and I'm not doing this as a plug, but doesn't it feel like old school F1 word?
Yeah.
It really does, doesn't it? Just chill.
That's the point why I kind of needled you to get the midweeks going again.
By needled, you mean beat me over the head with a stick, basically. Massa.
Well, no, that was CPB doing that.
To be fair, that was CPB, yeah. Drink Red Bull, John, to be more appropriate for the occasion.
But no, it tastes like ass. I hate it. It's horrible.
Max doesn't like all-nighters, so would stay up and instead.
Do you know what tastes nicer?
Piss. Don't do it. No sponsorship. No. Oh, God, here's a story for you.
This is a real can, by the way, not opened yet.
I wouldn't open it.
It was out of date 3 years ago, but...
Mate, it was out of date when you bought it. Come on, it's William's
I
story.
wanted to keep it. I got two. I actually... they were giving out press sort of packs of 2 cans, so I got them and actually drank one of the cans. I swear to God, it is like 100 times nicer than Red Bull. It's genuinely the nicest tasting of that sort of typical guarana taurine taste I've ever had. Monster, all the own brands, Rockstar, get them in the bin. Red Bull in the bin. Rich Energy is the nicest of any of them. If only the company wasn't ran by an absolute maniac, it could have been a massive phenomenon worldwide because it's genuinely nice. And because I got the 2 cans in the press pack, I elected to keep one because, well, that's like as rare as gold.
It's a funny story as well. We just had a funny story on it, so that it's definitely it's a talking point.
The fact that they've got a genuinely great product, and because the company owner is an absolute nutcase, it went nowhere.
And they stole a logo.
Yeah. Oh, that was the best. That was amazing. I loved that whole thing.
Well, it was the memes that came from it, wasn't it? That was the thing. It was all the good stuff. That was when, by the way, back in day, that was when F1 Twitter used to be fun. Oh, the fun we had.
Yeah, but Blue Sky's like that now, so come join us.
Aside from I will read this from Moray actually because you laughed at this when I read it yesterday, John T. Aside from Cadillac, who do you think will finish last in the constructors next year, and why is it Ferrari? Bitch.
I could pull a Hazel on that one.
Hazel?
New engine regs. Do you remember the one of the predictions things? Hazel said that Ferrari would win, but ultimately come last because they get kicked out for an illegal engine. That's what's going to happen next year.
See you later, Kevin, mate. Take care. Have a good dinner. Thank you for joining us. So next year, Cadillac's an obvious answer, isn't it? But I'm going to predict that somebody gets it so wrong, like really, really wrong. And it's going to be a surprise. It'll be somebody like an Aston Martin or something like, because they've got the Honda power unit next year, and we all know how well Honda do when they join the sport. So I'm going to say not necessarily Aston Martin themselves, but somebody of that kind of level this season is going to have a really horrifically bad year, get the aero wrong, the engine's dreadful, and they end up, it could be Red Bull. They're building their own with Ford. So, but yeah, somebody like that, a big shock.
No, you watch it. It'll be Mercedes.
Ferrari, yeah. Oh, imagine.
Alpine have eventually bit the bullet and gone, right, that's enough. No more making our own engine. We'll buy someone else's who's as good. And the Mercedes absolutely screw the pooch and just come up with a dog engine, and Alpine are like, oh my God.
Here's a question, chat, actually, very quickly. Yes or no? If that Red Bull, and it is all speculation, if that Red Bull is the slowest car on the grid, they're getting lapped every weekend, it's absolutely diabolical, does Max see out the season?
Ooh.
Does he do the full 24 race, or do you think he goes at the summer break? Because I can't imagine him being comfortable trundling around at the back. I think he'd go away, end his contract, and come back 27 with somebody else. That's as a Max fan. I'm allowed to say it. He quits after Zandvoort, says CPB. Good point, yeah. Zandvoort, final race in the Netherlands, maybe. Yeah, you might want to do that one. I
would say it depends how much of a clash Le Mans is.
Yeah, Le Mans is a good shout.
Because it's no secret that Max has got endurance results in his eyes. He loves the endurance racing. That's the reason he did N24 last year. This year, yeah. We're not done yet. It's still 2025.
Just.
But yeah, if the car's a dog, I mean, I think it's fair to say that he could walk into any WEC team.
I'd like that, actually, weirdly. I miss him in F1, but it would be cool to see him do like a proper WEC season. Just because like Fernando Alonso went over to WEC, and I know he got a very, very good car, but he went over to WEC, and that sort of made me like, I'm always gonna look. I know we disagree on Max, and I know I do with a lot of people in chat. He's my driver. I'll defend him. I think he's brilliant anyway, but it makes you appreciate a driver more when they go off to another series and achieve something there as well. Like as a racing driver, I mean, not necessarily, not as an F1 driver, as a racing driver. You know, whatever Max does in his career in F1 now, he's got 4 championships minimum. He's going to be an all-time great. If he then goes off to WEC and win, what if he does a triple crown? Imagine that. If anyone's going to, it could be him. He's still only like 19. I think something like that.
That's exactly why, in my opinion, the greatest racing driver of all time is Mario Andretti. Because he's done everything. F1 world champion. He's won Le Mans, class win, admittedly. Indy 500, Indy Championship, NASCAR, Daytona 500, Daytona 24. And in case people go, oh, well, that's just on the track, he also won Pikes Peak when it was gravel. So, yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that. I didn't know the Pikes Peak thing. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like in the 70s, where if you go off the edge, you are dead. No ifs or buts.
Yes, CPB. If that did happen next year, Red Bull, Lauren McKees would be sacked. Pretty confident on that within about an hour.
If that happened next year, does Red Bull cease to exist as a team?
What, sell it? They threaten it enough, don't they?
Yeah.
I should say this is all speculation, by the way. There's no information that says this is happening. Completely. I was just to cover off for the Red Bull fans. We're not saying Red Bull have said they're going to be terrible or anything like that, but sell it to Horner, says Dave. There's your final irony.
I disagree, Golf Balls. I maintain that Mario Andretti is a Triple Crown winner.
What didn't he win? What's Golf Balls getting at? What
Le Mans overall. He didn't win Le Mans overall. But he was second in a class below. He was second overall in the second class. So ahead of multiple top class cars. It's close enough in my opinion.
Moray makes a good point again. Says, I don't think he does get sacked actually. They pin it on Horner because the whole engine program idea was his idea. But surely the book starts with the manager, doesn't it, I suppose? But it's a good point. Red Raven says no, they'll switch branding to Racing Bulls, who will be at least 10th. Yeah, swap the branding around. Whichever car's better, swap the branding around. Put Max in the Racing Bulls. There you go. Why not?
It's the only way Max is getting promoted in F1, let's be honest.
Joe says, hey Joe, says, crap, I missed the first 90 minutes. Don't worry, we just waffled. Did we expand on my Bearman to Ferrari point from Sunday? We didn't, but we can do. I did promise we would, didn't I? So his question on Bearman on Sunday, I believe, Joe, was, is Bearman going to be the successor to Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari whenever that day comes? Do we think...
Yes.
It's not really next season, because Bearman, to me, is still too raw. He's making some very, very silly mistakes. He's on the brink of a race ban still, isn't he? But I think
he's in that car,
yeah,
no question.
At the earliest, 2027, yeah. Possibly at the latest as well, but certainly not. It won't be next year, is what I mean. Lewis isn't going anywhere. Although, John, I will ask you, what do you think of John Elkann's bollocks comments this week? I did a whole video on it. I was so annoyed.
So stupid. What? At the time when you absolutely need to be giving your drivers support, you don't shit on them in the press. It's just a stupid way to deal with it.
That's not even the bit that annoyed me the most, though.
For in Mexico and certainly sprint qualifying at Brazil, one of the drivers shat on your other driver. It's like, come on, sort it out.
But that's
Lewis didn't do himself any favours in the main race, but whatever.
I need to find the quote, because that's not even the bit that really the bit that got my back up, and I think I said to somebody in the comments, wasn't necessarily like I sort of agree that the drivers do need to get their head down and just sort of deal with what they've got because that's their job as drivers, but not shut up basically. But the one that got me, the one that really got my back up was, if we look at our engineers, there is no doubt the car has improved. Fuck off. Improvement in your car. If the data says it's a second quicker than it was, fantastic. But your rivals are 1.5 seconds quicker than they were. So your improvement is relative, and therefore your car has not improved relative to your rivals. So it doesn't matter how much faster your car is than it was 6 months ago if your rivals are still even quicker than they were before and still panning the crap out of you. So that's a man that has not watched the season, because that Ferrari has not got better. They're still here I go again. They're still dealing with the same problems in round 21 they were faffing around with in round 2 that got them disqualified. So how is that an improvement? Well done, John Elkann. Classic corporate CEO knobhead at the top of a company who has no idea what's going on beneath him, I imagine. But there you go. That's what I wanted to say in the video, but I worded it far more professionally than that, just in case. But it's just... the car has not improved relative to the rivals. No. If arguably it's got worse.
I mean, that car's basically been... This year's Ferrari has basically had the same issues that Mercedes have had for the last 3 years. The fact that it fluctuates whether the car's quick at a track or not, and it doesn't seem to be all that predictable. Right, this year, the Mercedes is a lot more predictable. If it's cold, car's quick. That's about it. But the last 3 years, it jumped around all over the place.
Yeah.
And they couldn't really tell. The Ferrari was relatively quick all those years, but this year it's just, especially when you see them like, top 4 Q1, top 4 Q2. Oh, why are they 8th and 10th in Q3? It completely comes out of nowhere. It's almost as if they do better on a green track, which shouldn't be true of any racing car ever. It's very, very strange.
The thing with Ferrari is, why are drivers lifting and coasting for an entire race?
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on.
That too.
He's talking, Elkann's talking like the drivers have are complaining about a world championship winning car. They're not. They're talking about some weekends a midfield car, other weekends are just above the midfield car. Charles Leclerc has dragged that car to some fantastic results this year. And I do you wonder, actually, there'll be questions to get through every now. Do you think there's a little bit with Elkann who's thinking, oh shit, I need to cover my own arse here because I went chasing Lewis Hamilton, it's not worked out, and I went and backed Fred Vasseur publicly and it's not working out, and oh dear, I need to say something to cover my own backside. He put the thing on pole in Hungary, exactly, Max, against all odds.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of that, which is ridiculous because he needs to stick by his decision. It's not a stupid decision. We spoke about this last night.
Yeah.
You're going into complete, massively revamped aero formula and massively revamped engine formula next year. As much as I like Sainz, I think Sainz is great. Then would you prefer Sainz or Hamilton giving you feedback on the development of that car?
Exactly.
That's a big key thing here. Lewis himself, if someone was to have a proper, not press focused chat with him, it would be a case of, do you see this as a write-off year because there's all the development going on for 26? He would probably agree with that. He'll still try and get the best he can, but he understands that with such a big rule change for next year, it's a case of focus on that and get what you can.
I agree.
It should yield better results. Same as Alonso having utter shite this year because he's convinced that Newey and Honda are giving him something special for next year. How many of these magical next year things come to fruition? God only knows. And I'm sorry that there's a big furry mass in the middle of my screen.
Yeah, it's all right. I am listening. I'm also watching the cat, though. I was just the ears.
Yes. Well, chat will be happy to know that the cat's name is half motorsport based. So
Is it Max?
No, it's not fucking Max. This is Lola.
Oh, of course it's Lola. You've told me that before.
Yes. Lovingly named after the legendary 1970s endurance and Can-Am racing team, not the ill-fated MasterCard.
Yeah, no. Her first name is MasterCard.
I tried to get on camera properly. She struggles and goes, no. I want to sit in front of the camera.
Camera shy.
Unless it's her just parking her ass right in front of it.
I mean, to be fair, if she was named after MasterCard Lola, she'd have more screen time. Meowie Walker.
Meowie Walker. That's brilliant. Shame she's a girl. But no,
97. That's a case study for how not to launch an F1 team. Get the money up front, Haas and Lola, etc.
And on top of that, the MasterCard Lola livery was awful.
Yeah, but
dark blue and orange and white. It didn't work.
But it's iconic in that you instantly know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is because it was just a disaster.
I'm looking at chat. Let's get back to chat. Questions in chat. CPB says, if Mercedes have the best engine next year, then surely McLaren will still be the team to beat, considering they have the better aero, assuming they don't bring back these stupid papaya rules. Yes. Hey to MSC Bar says, hey, Sean and Jonty. Great to hear you again. Only just remembered you'll be live. Going back to the beginning to listen to all of it. Best of luck. Love you both. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your support, as always. A relatively, I would say, channel OG. Been around for many years. Not calling you old when you catch up to this bit. Was it as bad as the Audi one, the Lola? It worse than that, I think. Although the Audi one's not really a livery, is it? It's a colour palette. Okay, then here's one. Joe wants to know, because we haven't actually discussed this on stream at all this year because the last one was testing. Joe just says, what are Jonty's thoughts on the championship, assuming I haven't missed it so far this year? So what have your thoughts been on the season as a whole and the McLaren cock-ups?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it in general. The fact that we've got an actual fight.
Yeah.
Even more exciting because it's between teammates. Yeah, that always spices things up. Don't get me wrong, I wish they would get a bit bitchy with each other. I don't want them to lose a friendship or anything, but there's always a bit more excitement when there's niggles. I mean, 2016 was amazing. Let's be honest. It did ruin a friendship between Nico and Lewis, but my God, it made for some amazing viewing. And I wouldn't mind too much if we had that between Oscar and Lando, but they're all a bit too friendly.
Did you know?
Like if we had less. I would love it if we had less Zach on the screen.
Oh, we talked about this last night as well, didn't we? A-hole.
It's like, did I know what? Sorry.
I was going to say,
did pluck something out of the air.
You said, I just copied a link for Joe because he wants to give me money.
PayPal, got a link for that.
There you go. No, but that's for you. Joe says, the fact I can't super chat on this channel is infuriating. Let me give you money, Sean. I just want to say quickly, we are about 2/3 of the way already to being monetized, and this channel's been going 3 weeks on Saturday.
Amazing.
So thank you so much to everybody. Until then, we have the buy me the coffee link. Buy me the coffee, all of the coffee. That is in the chat now and in description, and you can support the channel on Patreon as well. I will get your names at the end of videos and streams. I'm working on that this week, so I've got a couple of days to sort of work on those bits now. Some admin around the channel, and I will be hopefully opening up the Discord as well for Patreon members too. So there are ways, Joe. Thank you very much if you choose to, mate. If nobody wants to contribute, no pressure at all, no problem. Hopefully once the channel's monetized, it'll be ad revenue will be the thing that does it. But if you want to, it's welcome, but it's not necessary. So thank you as always. But yeah, no, the season this year, I think it was around the mid-season point, maybe a little bit later, where I was starting to get a bit, not bored of it, but I was starting to get so frustrated with the way McLaren were trying to perfectly manage it in the sake of fairness rather than just letting them get on with it. And it turned me off the season a little bit. But then when Max started to come into it, and that meant that McLaren were unable to do quite as much of the papaya rules thing, that's when it got more interesting. Like Singapore, for example. I don't want Piastri in the wall. I don't want Norris in the wall. But the fact that for whatever reason there was that bit of contact, that made it interesting. Monza was a joke. I'm not even going to get into that again. But things like that and then you get, then that leads to a bit of tension, because then you get the incident in Kota, which then leads to the tension elsewhere. And I'm with you. I don't want them falling out. I don't want them punching each other. I don't want them, going full Prost and Senna, but just something. And I feel like these last 4-5 races, we've really started to get that, so it's made it interesting. And I think that pressure from Max and the fact that, like I say, McLaren can't micromanage it quite as much has really helped with that. So thank you, Max Verstappen. If you don't win the championship, you've certainly added something to it. So,
just Renine mentioning something that's happened since Monza. I read somewhere today. It was Dre who referenced it, and I trust Dre immensely. I'm not sure which publication it was for, but Piastri has spoken about how the setup through bar that he had in Monza affected his confidence quite a bit and led sort of almost directly. It was still on his mind in Baku.
Beyond the Grid.
That says a lot.
Was that the Beyond the Grid podcast?
Yes. Yeah, Beyond the Grid. The fact that he admits that and says that was still on his mind in Baku, and in Baku he stuffs it in the wall completely on help. What's the word? Can't English. Without pressure. Unforced error. There we go. Yeah. Thank you. It says a lot. And again, while we were waffling about stuff last night, I just happened to notice that you got the retirement. Apart from one race that had weather interference, he'd been on the podium every single race till the retirement at Baku. He hasn't been near the podium since. When you start to look at the results, like in the sort of spreadsheet or graph format, you notice these things. You're like, oh, hang on a minute, I hadn't actually thought about that before, but yeah, that one thing affected his confidence, and it's been shite ever since. Yeah, and it's worrying for Oscar. Now there is a pattern where he struggled with these few tracks last year, but that's a hell of a lot to turn around.
We talked about it yesterday. We were looking at Wikipedia. We just went, oh my God, look at that. It's like it was a save for Antonelli, wasn't it? There's like this gaping chasm at Antonelli's middle of the season. It's like consistently pretty good. What the hell? Why don't you just go home and then just really, really good again? Weird. Same with Piastri a little bit.
Yeah. But... yeah, Wikipedia is kind of useful for that in Formula One results, because you've got a finish in the blue, points finish in the green, and then gold, silver, bronze for the podiums. So those outlier results really stand out.
Do you think Lando's won it?
Yes.
Or do you think there's another twist to come? You said yes, so you've answered it, but yeah. You think he's got it?
There is potentially a twist to come. But I do think he's got it.
Don't forget Lewis.
It would have to be a spectacular twist.
Well, Lewis, 2007 China, title was in the bag, and then McLaren, who had all the experience of how to manage a race, didn't manage a race properly, and he was straight in the wall. Well, not in the wall, in the gravel trap. Something that, and actually, this validates both of us, Jonty. Something that he admitted was, when people criticised us for saying this in a stream at the time, he admitted that was on his mind in Turkey 2020.
Yeah.
We said it was, never said that's ridiculous, that was so stupid. He admitted that. You could just tell the way he didn't want to come in the pits.
Yeah, people didn't like us saying that.
No.
And then, oh, look, he said it himself.
Because they said
because of course it would be.
They said that we were making out that it was weak. But that's not. It's not a weakness to learn from the past.
Yeah.
It's really
if
weird.
anything, it's a strength. If anything, that was a strength of his. To just think back to what's happened and think, not doing that again.
I've seen this before. I think I'll stay out, thanks. Weird race, that. That's a conversation for another day. That's another one we can slag Massey off about as well. One of the Turkish ones, was it 2021 or 2020? We're not going to do it. We're not doing it. It's safety. We will come to safety another day.
Oh, yeah, that was during qualifying.
Yeah.
That qualifying made me rage.
Joe,
That was one of those rare ones where I got like several thousand likes on Twitter for shouting and screaming,
just being
in
angry,
all capitals. Yeah, because there's absolutely no defending it.
Thank you very much, Joe, for your, let's call it a super chat. It's as good as. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. It says, here we go. Wonderful. I'm Joe on YouTube. That's my old name before I changed it. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for your support and your generosity there.
We know who you are now.
Yeah, now we can stalk you.
Yeah, we know who you are now. You can't change your name now. How are we going to know who it is? Anyone could come along and say, oh, by the way, I'm Joe. You're now going to get like 20 fucking donations on coffee saying, I'm Joe from YouTube.
Yeah, lots of Joe.
Like, hang on, which one are you?
The fall off in form will be studied for years. Joe also says Monza and Silverstone shook Oscar, but he's shown the same level of ability to recover as Webber, which is a death sentence for winning a title. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Lando could finish second in every race. There's golf balls and a sprint, and he will still win. That's it. That's the problem for Piastri now. Even if Piastri wins every race and the sprint between now and the end of the season, he still loses a title. He needs Norris to have not necessarily an off weekend, because third isn't really an off weekend. It's still a very good result, but he needs him to drop a couple of places, doesn't he, and lose some points, because otherwise, and he has to win them all.
Yeah.
But it does feel like, and I did this in the video 2 weeks ago, it does feel like momentum, luck, everything has just moved Lando's way now, whereas earlier in the season it was seen to be against him, whereas now it's swung back, which is why I'm not convinced there won't be another twist. But I think you told me off for this once, because I said if I was a betting man I'd put it on Norris, and you said no you wouldn't, you put it on the outsider because you're not going to make any money on Norris. But you know what I mean by expression. If I was betting on who was going to win it, it would be Norris now. But there's still part of me that wouldn't be shocked to be sat here doing a race reaction for, spoiler alert, race reaction, I know, for Abu Dhabi going, hey, Max is a 5-time world champion. How the hell did he do that? And we all go, no idea, Max things.
Even if he doesn't manage to sort of do the incredibly hard deed and take this title, it's still, in my opinion, Max's best season. To even have a chance of taking it, to still be in it mathematically after everything that's gone on this year, is amazing, especially with the state of that car.
Was it 104 back after Zandvoort? 104 points off?
Yeah. The way they turned it around he turned it around after the summer break. Funny, suddenly things went better after there was a bit of a management reshuffle at Red Bull. I wonder what happened earlier in the year.
Yuki started to get some nice parts as well, didn't he, all of a sudden on his car, which has really worked very well. He's doing a great job out there. That was sarcasm.
There was a management reshuffle at Red Bull and nothing of value was lost.
I know. Christian Horner's unsubscribed. That's the end of that one then. No, but I think there was some people talk about how some of those updates would have been in the pipeline, but I still think just having Lauren McKee's there on more, because he's more of an engineer, isn't he? More of an engineer. So having an engineering mind there maybe helped them to be able to say, right, here's the problem, here's what we need to do. That then enables Max to work out his setup with his engineer GP. Max then, you just, if you can give Max a car that is capable of challenging consistently for a top 5 position, he's probably going to win those races or be in the fight for the win. So Ginger Spice will be mad, says CPV. Yeah, all the Spice Girls have unsubscribed except for Emma Bunton because she's a legend. It's Lando's championship to win now. The odds are in his favour now, says Cited Canvas. Also says even if Max doesn't win it this year, this was his most competitive season with multiple drivers. Pascal, hey Pascal, mate, says a question for Sean and Jonty. What would you consider for Audi being a good season in 2026? I reckon fighting for points in most races would be a decent year. Obviously, of course, Pascal next season as a Sauber fan becomes an Audi fan. So there you go. Decent season.
Audi. Given the last couple of seasons that Sauber had, and having the Audi break, they need to be getting at least sort of like 9 or 10 points finishes with both cars. Not at the same time necessarily, but between them. I'd say 20 points finishes out of the 48 potential finishes is expected, probably, from the Audi top people.
My biggest concern with Audi is not so much the aero, but the engine, because they're building one themselves from scratch. That's where I'm a little bit unsure.
Yeah.
So I think
True.
Pascal says scoring at most races. I think most races would be a fantastic first year. I don't think most races would be, if they didn't score at most races, it would be a bad year either. I think if they could finish, maybe I'm being pessimistic and Pascal will hate me for it, but maybe really next year, Audi's initial goal has got to be to beat Cadillac and maybe pick off one other team as a first season, and then into 2027 when they've got the car where it needs to be, the engine where it needs to be, then they can start aiming for a little bit further up. The problem is, I can't imagine Audi, who have come to Formula One, but I felt have been very lukewarm towards Formula One, are going to accept too many seasons being second or third last before they pull the plug. And then have to give it back to Peter Sauber, bless him. Just take it. Please just take it. I know he doesn't own it now, but it's a funny joke from back in the day when BMW said they didn't want it anymore, and then he was like, well, I don't want it. And he had to take it.
People are throwing questions at me.
There's always questions in chat.
GGA Red Ruin. Who's going to be the new Alpine team principal?
Christian Horner.
I don't know.
Or he'll buy
There's
it.
still that Renault link. There's still that Renault link in there, and they still genuinely hate him, even though Beatable's gone.
Yeah.
If you could go to a team, would you rather go to Red Bull second seat or Alpine number one driver? Oh, Red Bull second seat. I've got no pride. Give me the money. I'll take a $7 million. I'll take a $7 to $10 million drive over potentially paying.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'd want to be it either. I'd probably just retire. To be honest, I think both. I'm like, yeah, the money's there, I guess, but yeah. If Lando wins the title this year, could you see Oscar improving from this and could have a shot of winning the title next year? Question mark, says CPB. Judging by the way he's reacted to the sort of the kick in Monza, I'd be a little bit concerned this might be a kick too much. But that said, if you've got let's say McLaren are favourites next year and have the best car, let's just say that, it's still going to be between Lando and Oscar. So I think he can still bounce back from this and can improve. But I mean, I guess if you look at how Oscar's improved from last year to this year, you'd hope that he would improve again for next year, and with the experience of potentially losing a championship, which wasn't in the bag, but he had pretty much control of, might really give him a kick in the backside for next season, if that makes sense. I thought you were in the Discord server, John T.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're in the old one, aren't you? Oh, yeah. No, I didn't switch. I'll have to.
The old one doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, I deleted that. That was gone pretty quickly, much to people's disgust. But
yeah, I'm in the stream one.
Oh, you're in the stream one, yeah. I need to put you in the other one then. I will sort that for you.
That's different.
There's some great people over there. They just an ST's over there, and he hasn't changed in.
Oh God,
8
no!
years.
Don't. I'm not joining.
He's the same as he was 8 years ago. I think he's married now though. No, where was I going to be? I saw
I'm
somebody's
still friends
question.
with him on Steam, and every so often I see him playing a game. I'm like, oh God, what's wrong with you?
Ryan Nice says, with a few new engine manufacturers next year, are we looking at a two-tier championship?
Oh, hang on.
Oh,
it's all right.
What happened? I was going to say the dog's escaped. I think it's the cat. It's fine. Yeah, we weren't lying about waffling, RC. We always waffle, mate. We always like a good waffle. But Oscar had a higher ceiling, but I've seen drivers. Say night to Lola, chat. Go on. I'll read your chats in a sec. Say bye, MasterCard, Lola. Have a good sleep.
Don't call her MasterCard.
It's got a better livery than MasterCard, Lola, to be fair. I'm so sorry. Oh, no.
Well, if she had a livery, if she was a livery, it'd be a 1993 Sauber. Pure black white wings, and a Mercedes logo.
They're just naming credit cards now. I'm sorry, I've ruined your cap. Lyle says, will Cadillac finish anything other than last next year? I take my shit. I'm going to twist that question a bit, Lyle, and talk Bottas Perez. Who's going to come out on top in that fight? Because I don't think Cadillac necessarily will be last. I don't think they nailed on for it. I think, like I say, it's between them and Audi and maybe another for who might end up being bottom of the pile next year. But Bottas versus Perez is going to be really, really, really interesting. The battle of the what do we call them? Well, they were, I guess, rejects. Really, they're not rejects in themselves, but I mean, as from teams being rejected from teams in the end, or
my
ejected.
mate Bill asked me this question earlier. Yeah, my mate Bill asked me the same question earlier. Who comes out on top, Bottas or Perez? And he didn't like it when I said Bottas because he's a big Perez fan, and I'm a Perez fan. We should all be Perez fans. He's a good guy.
We've defended him enough on this, on t'other channel.
Well, especially with the whole Force India collapse thing. And he had to sit there for a month with the whole world thinking he's an absolute arsehole because he legally can't tell anyone how it all went down and the fact that he actually saved the team. So, like, to do that, knowing what you're going to go through, was amazing. But Bottas is going to kick his ass.
Bottas is good in qualifying,
he's
very good in qualifying.
Significantly better driver. He really is such a... I always come back to the point that what years was it? 2018, 19, I think. To whom it may concern and all the rest of it. Bottas was not regularly, but frequently enough, beating Lewis Hamilton on an absolutely level playing field in qualifying. The greatest qualifier F1's ever had. You're not a slouch if you're doing that. What's
funny though, now you mentioned 2019, is that we both said in a stream in t'other place at the end of 2018 that we would have replaced him because his 2018 was so bad, and that's how you bounce back as a driver. He went away, he didn't listen to us, but he went away, got his head down, found himself again, came back, and actually his first half of 2019 was actually really probably his best period in an F1 car. He was fantastic. So that's how you bounce back from a bad end to the season. How often do we not see drivers do that? And Bottas was able to do that. And, you know, I like Perez a lot. We defend him a lot. But I feel... I still think it'll be close. It'll be close between the two of them next season because I know what Perez can do in a poor car. How many times is he on the podium for Force India? You know, he can pull the results out. But
that was his thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was in his interests to go to a top team, to be quite honest. Perez had his niche where everyone was a fan of his because as soon as there was even the slightest bit of trouble at the front of the grid, bam, there he is. Oh, Christ, Perez got onto the podium completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was always there waiting to bounce. And... let's carry it on this channel, whatever. It was a trope on the old channel where still angry at the Sauber engineer for opening his gob in 2012. Was it 2012 or was it 2011?
Yeah, I know which one. 20... It might be 12. Yeah, because Alonso... Yeah, no, it would have been 12.
Malaysia, I think.
Yeah.
Malaysia or China?
Malaysia.
Yeah, where he's going to win that race. He's lightning quick. And then
all over Alonso.
Yeah, you get a guy on the radio. Be careful, Checo. We need to bring this home. And he spins out 2 corners later. Shut up!
Yeah, straight off the track. You're like, that's the end of that.
Yeah,
idiots.
The classic. You know, the whole in the zone. That was as clear an example as you've ever seen. And
I've thought of the word, by the way. Valerie has said rejects ouch. I was trying to think of the word that I meant. I ended up with rejects and ejects, but surely just sacked. Drivers would have been the word rather than ejects. I'm not sure ejects been ejected from their seats. I don't think that's really a thing, but there you go. That Sauber mechanic now is in the same leading role at Ferrari, says Red Raven. Apparently. Is that a joke or is that real? If that's genuine, he's sacking that. That Sauber mechanic is now in some leading role at Ferrari. If he isn't, his Spirit is for sure.
I don't know who it was. It would have been his race. It would have been his race engineer in 2012. So, Oh, can you imagine if it turns out to be like Wheatley or someone?
All-wheel dingus, by the way, says Checo brings the fund. Kit Kat Cadillac. That's great. I'm having it. Kit Kat Cadillac. They so should. That's brilliant.
I absolutely need Kit Kat to sponsor them now.
That's
amazing.
Brilliant. Kit Kat Cadillac. Anyway, no. Another question. Will Liam Lawson make it beyond year 2?
So I could hear where that was going.
Another question. Will Liam Lawson make it beyond year 2 next year in F1? Says Lyle. I don't think I think unless he has an epic season next year, I don't think he'll be there for 27. But I think he will get next year. Yeah, I don't think I can't. I think it'll be because I think it should
not with the options that are coming up.
No, it has to be Lawson and either Hadjar or maybe Tsunoda next year. It can't be Lindblad at Racing Bulls. He is not ready. It's too many mistakes this season. He's too young. He needs another year in F2. And
has he got the license points?
Yeah. No, Lindblad has got the license points.
Oh, he has.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he's not.
Alex Dunn's a good shout, but again, I think he's too many mistakes this year from him.
Oh no, I was going to say tied up in McLaren.
No, he's about to sign for Red Bull.
He was released last month, wasn't he?
About to sign for Red Bull, we think. So, yeah.
He's a friggin' up and down driver. He's another one of them.
Apparently, Rice says AMUS are saying it's Lindblad in next year. Well, they're just going to make the same mistakes they've made over and over again, then, aren't they? We'll be having the same conversation next year now. He might surprise me, but I'm not being cocky, but I feel I was right about Kimi Antonelli. I think he's had a really great last couple of races, and I think he's had some really solid races this year, but that middle of the season says to me that he still needed a bit longer in F2. But
you see, there goes the question. Who would you take, Lindblad or Dunn? That's a tricky one.
I'd take Tsunoda.
Dunn is faster,
but more likely to stick you in a wall.
Clearly faster, but also really hasn't got the racecraft. The amount of issues, the amount of times this year it's been like, Dunn, what are you doing? And just doing really boneheaded moves that are ruining his own race. Like, chill. It's like you're much faster. You don't need to yeet it up the inside of someone at a corner where you don't overtake. Wait for the straight. Winner.
Early Kevin Magnussen. Quick. Full of ability.
Yeah.
And then he just does that one thing. You idiot.
You're like, where was that? What was that? Where did that come from? Chill.
Yeah, Dunn needs another year for his super license. Lindblad definitely has.
Yeah.
Connell says, I worry Lindblad isn't quite the level of even Kimi going into this season. Kimi makes him moving to RB more romantic, but he's going to sink more likely than he'll swim. It just feels way like just one season too soon. And I think putting Tsunoda back in the Racing Bulls, yes, it's a kick in the gut, but that's your rejects team. Put Tsunoda back in with Lawson at Racing Bulls, where he was doing all right at the start of the season. And let him just leave him there. And then if you do decide to promote Lindblad for 2027 or even mid-2026, you look at your two drivers, right, Lawson's still not delivering or isn't delivering enough. Goodbye, we'll put Lindblad alongside Tsunoda. Or Tsunoda isn't delivering. Goodbye, we'll put Lindblad alongside Lawson. There's no need to rush that. They've got time. And next season is, Tsunoda, for all the difficulties he's had this season at Red Bull, he's still experienced. And next year, that experience could be really important for, as John said about Lewis Hamilton earlier, feedback on the car. So keep him there, especially if you're building your own engine. Keep him there. It just makes sense for now, and then make a decision mid-season or the end of next season. But before somebody says it, probably Red Raven, when have Red Bull ever made sense? So,
or even better, Dolga's in the bin, and Tsunoda goes there to team up with the Honda.
Who in the bin?
Stroll.
Oh, I thought you said Alonso. I was like, what? Tsunoda and Stroll? Are you crazy? No. Well, Lance Stroll looks like he just doesn't care anymore. His interview, it made me laugh. When his interview was, they were like, oh, how was your car? I was like, yeah, it was great. And then he walked away and you're like, oh, well, was that it? I'm going to say, I don't know if I told you this. I said it on stream before. I can't help but feel like Lawrence Stroll wants Lance Stroll in that car more than Lance Stroll wants to be in that car. Sometimes it's how it feels.
That kind of feel. Dad, Turn on the rain.
Red Raven says, thanks for the corner of your head I apparently now live in. Sean, it's cozy in here. Yeah, no, it's every time I say something, I go, Red Raven's going to tell me off now. It's all good fun. But yeah, I'll always mention you when I'm saying something that you're going to tell me off for. Tsunoda Stroll is like having two Mazepins, says RC. That's harsh on Stroll and Tsunoda, actually, to be honest. What's he doing now?
Years ago I said it's harsh on Stroll, and these days I'm not so sure.
What's Mazepin doing these days? Is he DJing or something?
I don't know, spinning, probably.
Jaime Alguersuari's DJing. I forgot his name now. It's not Sketch. He was in Tattoo Fixers. Who's Squire? DJ Squire. That K to me the end. DJ Squire. Jaime Alguersuari, a driver Sean will always say was better than people remember. Not like a Verstappen or anything, but
the one thing that sticks out in my mind of Mazepin is like I don't know if you've watched him, but Mr. V's Garage, very funny, and he's been doing all sorts of alternate point systems, and he tried one where like you're out as soon as you DNF. Right, you DNF, that's it, you're done, you're out of the entire season. And it worked out that Mazepin's season lasted 2 corners.
yeah.
Because he went straight in the gravel at Bahrain. It was amazing. Like, yeah, that's pretty apt. That sums up his entire career.
So there are a couple of quick fire questions. From we'll do one from the. I'll do 2 from the community tab. Then I'll do some in live chat. It seems fair because they're here live. But Matchsticks wanted to know what do we reckon were the chances of Piastri finishing higher than P5 in Brazil? Have McLaren given him a medium to hard or medium to soft one-stop option? I actually answered that to you last night, didn't I, John T? I said that. Number one, maybe he would have finished higher than P5, but my point would always be, given how they're so desperate not to upset their drivers, they were never going to do that, even if it was viable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think they'd have done that. I don't think it would have made that much difference ultimately, to be honest.
No. It would be 22 points instead of 24.
Yeah, just based on the pace. Any drop off from the different tyre would have been counteracted by the life of the other tyre.
Yeah,
it didn't seem to make all that much difference across the field, to be honest.
I will say thank you to the Keeper of Chaos, to Moray, to Max, to Josh, to MSC Biles, and to Matchsticks for your questions in the community tab. There's a couple here. I mean, the Keeper of Chaos says, do you feel confident that Audi and Cadillac will be midfielders next season? We've kind of answered that. We've talked about 2026 as well. So we'll leave those there. But thank you to you guys for all your questions over there. We'll stick with live chat now for... Do you want to go to half past, John T?
Yeah, that's
20
fine.
minutes, and then...
Plenty of 2026 stuff over the winter break, I imagine.
Oh yes. I'll be doing videos over the winter, but I'll also really do some more of these streams because what else is there to do without F1? I mean, I could go out and get a life. That seems unlikely, though.
Ridiculous.
Don't be stupid, Sean. Can we appreciate the brilliant drive Max had yet again in Brazil? Always fantastic drive. And do you think Colton Herta will go to Cadillac in F1? Says CPB. Of course, I saw somebody asked about F2 for Colton Herta earlier as well. So if you did ask that and I can't find your name, apologies, but I'm not ignoring you. Somebody did ask how we think he'll get on in F2 next year. I'm sorry to say the words again. We did discuss this last night briefly. I said that I think that Colton Herta is pretty much... It feels as though if he's not guaranteed to be at Cadillac, that is the goal as of today because they've put him in F2. He is their, if not reserve, then test driver or something. So I think that he will be... I think he will be in Cadillac if he is up to scratch in F2. I think that's pretty sure. But I think F2's not easy. I don't think Colton Herta's coming to F2 thinking this is going to be a piece of piss. I don't think that's it at all. But I think he'll be in for a bit more of a shock when he gets it. It's so competitive. Well, I tell you, if Colton Herta doesn't win the F2 championship next year, he's still more likely to get a seat the following year than the actual champion will. That's for sure. Because there's just no point winning the F2 championship anymore, is there?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're putting him in F2 specifically to make damn sure that he's got the super license points because he's already 100% done and dusted in that seat.
Yeah.
27.
Good enough as a driver, just needs the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there is a chance that it's going to backfire on them because, as you said, F2's not easy. Yeah, there's a lot of clowns in there. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people in F2 who have no right being anywhere near a car, never mind a racing car. But there are a lot of very good drivers. And it could well go the wrong way.
I'm trying to find, because I can't find anywhere, the championship standings for this year. Sorry. Because Golf Ball said, assuming Lando wins it, do you think Max can take P2 from Oscar in the standings? Oscar, 40 so he's got a 25-point lead over Max for P2. That feels unlikely as well, to be honest. I'm going to say that needs Oscar to have a bad result somewhere, but that's not impossible, as we've seen, is it? So
we're going to have both McLarens take each other out right underneath the sphere while it's got a shocked emoji face on it.
Oh, please!
That's going to make for one hell of a photo.
That'd be great fun. Oh, we get that. That's a background straight. A desktop
just
background.
They crash each other, and there's just the big dumb sphere going.
Someone's got a new Twitter avatar. That I would absolutely love that. No offense to McLaren fans. So who goes, Bottas or Checo? Says CPB ? Who goes?
Bottas.
Who's the eldest?
Checo's got the money.
Yeah, but who? I think
Checo brings in more money.
They're about the same age, aren't they? They are about the same age. I'm sure they are. I'm not saying that's what will decide it, but. I've now got myself. So 26. Bottas is 26. No, he's 36. Sergio Perez is 35. So yeah, it's not going to be coming down to age. Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you again, by the way, to Joe for another super chat. Says got a bigger payday this month, so enjoy another. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. And thank you for your support. That's yeah, you've just paid me. You've paid my salary for the day. There you go.
There's another good point by Moray, Robin Pera versus Herta in F2. Because Robin Pera has decided to try something different and just yeet it off from WRC for apparently no reason. I don't know why he would leave that when he's just stomping over the entire planet. Oh, you don't watch Rally, do you?
No. I'm still on a Bottas Checo thing. I'm just trying to think if there's a way I can disagree with you, but I think you probably, if it comes down to it, it'll be, if Checo has a shocker, then it'll be Bottas that stays. But if Checo is as good as we know Checo can be, and Bottas is as well, then it will come down to money, then Checo would stay. But although Bottas is really marketable, isn't he? Because he's just a meme. So
yeah, marketable. And that's true, but marketable is potential money.
True. Yeah.
In the bag money. Where
Cadillac
with that. With is it Telefonica or someone like? Brings with him?
Yeah, it's
Franco. Bank or something.
Franco.
No, Bank.
Oh, Bank. I thought Franco's like he brings Mercado Libre or whatever, doesn't he? But
yeah.
Checo's Kit Kat. I think it's not Telefonica, but I know what you mean. Is it Claro?
Telmex.
There we go. Telmex.
Yeah. Oh, I really hope they run with Kit Kat. I really do.
If everyone's cool with it, I'll put it on the tables for next year. Championship tables will be Kit Kat Cadillac. That's what they'll be forever.
It's like, they could make a great livery with that. Red and white. We talked about this yesterday. Yeah. Red and white liveries are missing from the grid. Superior Brewery looked amazing. Toyota, one of my all-time favourites. But no one in the chat has said it yet. And I'm sure someone must be thinking, am I just old that no one's making the... Thank you, golf balls. just as I'm complaining that no one said it.
I was going to sing it earlier, but then I stopped myself.
Yeah.
I was going to go down the football chant route there.
Cadillac, give a dog a bone.
I'm just thinking the Girls Aloud song Love Machine, says CPB.
Amazing song.
Is there a reason for that, or generally?
Maybe he's just thinking about it in general. Wouldn't blame him.
Give me Alonso v Perez all over again, but this time fighting for P10 at Aston and Cadillac, says Connell. That could be funny. Do you think Adrian Newey is going to make a massive difference next year? To Aston he will, but do you think he's going to be the deciding factor or one of the deciding factors there, or do you think his influence is maybe not what it was, say, when he joined Red Bull 20 years ago, nearly 20 years ago?
I can't know either way.
No.
I have to remain convinced that that's the only reason Alonso's still sticking around.
Oh, God, yeah.
The reason Alonso's putting up with really dire results for a good couple of years now, that he's been convinced by those in power at Aston that both Newey and Honda are coming along with something special. Okay.
See you later, Rye. Says, right, I have to head off. The Dunn fan club won't run itself. No worries, mate. Have a good one. Thanks for popping along. I'm loving the Kit Kat Cadillac stuff. It just rolls off the tongue so nicely. He says, messing it up straight away. My eyes are spinning because I thought I said Sack Hadjar couldn't see the eye. Says Jack. Jack's probably drunk again. I don't know. Aerodynamic AM will be better. However, are those engines I have zero faith in. That's Honda, isn't it? That's a big question mark over Aston next year.
Yeah.
But just on Alonso, he did
will
say
either get it. Honda will either get it amazingly right or amazingly wrong.
Yeah, there's no middle ground.
They don't tend to have middle ground.
I was just going to say, the thing that Alonso said fairly recently, or probably a couple of months ago now to be fair, said that if they are winning next year, he'd be more likely to retire than if they were struggling, because he would want to go out on a high. I think is basically the very paraphrased version of it, which I sort of get.
So I think at his heart, Alonso's very much a racer.
Yeah.
I don't think he would enjoy a walkover dominant championship as much as a championship he's had to fight for. I genuinely think he prefers the racing more than the winning, as long as it's racing for something and not at the back of the grid.
Yeah. As we saw in McLaren, he'll be quick to take a sabbatical or retire altogether and go racing somewhere else, won't he, if he knows he can win there or challenge to win there. He has to win in Madrid.
Me too, Red Raven. I really hope he gives the 500 another go. I wish more drivers from F1 would just go and try it. Why the hell not? But then I've got opinions about various things.
We'll do that one day. I feel with 10 minutes to go, starting you off on something else is probably a terrifying idea.
Yeah. I came up with what I thought was a genuinely amazing idea that would be great for racing across the board and for the people watching.
Cancel it.
Every country that F1 goes to, right, all the drivers buy an F4 car each. For the drivers, that's peanuts. It's nothing. Right? And give us, on the F1 race weekend, an F4 race, all in lower formula, identical cars. One, we get an incredible race and we see who really is the fastest. And two, at the end of it, they donate those cars to a racing academy in that country. So we get a better prospect of more racing drivers in the future.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Except the drivers who have to pay out about 100 grand, which to them is nothing.
No, I'm not against that idea at all. I don't think there is a downside apart from, again, multimillionaires having to pay a few quid. It's not going to, No, I'd be all for that. Absolutely. Sighted Canvas says EU Gross Madrid. The Mad Ring, which they still haven't renamed, which I kind of respect them for.
I'm sorry, did I miss something? It's called what?
Mad Ring.
Is that genuine?
That's genuine what it's called. So Madrid, Mad, and then Ring as in ring, like a Nürburgring ring. So it's the Mad Ring. It's the Mad Ring.
I don't hate it.
I kind of hope it's a really crap race though, because there we go. It just wasn't, was it? It just wasn't the Mad Ring.
Unfortunately, it actually looks like a decent track. It could be a genuinely good race.
If you watch the genuine virtual lap, it's not, because the guy sticks it in the wall. But
Yeah, but for street tracks, it's kind of hard to say because everyone took one look at Vegas and went, "Oh my god, that's going to be crap," and the race turned out to be pretty good. 2 years in a row.
It'll be good for Mercedes next weekend, nice and cold.
Yeah,
they'll be favourites for that, I reckon.
Yeah, the only thing it wasn't good for was Carlos's floor.
Oh, that was
nasty.
Oh, that. Do you know what? The bit that annoyed me more.
So much worse.
The bit that annoyed me more was the fact that nobody was allowed to criticise the fact that it happened because you're just being negative towards Vegas. No, we're being negative towards the fact that you didn't sort your drain covers out properly, you idiot. It's nothing to do with Vegas.
You're not special. You're not unique. We've ripped the crap out of Baku and Monaco for the same thing in the past. Let's just gloss over the fact that once we've had to do it once, it should never happen again. Oh, and Malaysia.
Yeah, the one at turn. Oh, it's the fast left-hander that goes left-right before the penultimate corner, but I can't remember the corner numbers. Yeah.
You know, the one that popped up and instantly punctured Grosjean's wheel. And it was another one of those cases where everyone was like, "Oh God, bloody Grosjean's off again," and then they showed the replays, and it was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." It's a drain cover just rips a hole in the tyre.
Also, we managed to mention Sepang on stream twice.
Yeah,
we will never change
because it's an actual crime. That Sepang isn't on the bloody calendar. Like
money, but
Shanghai is Sepang just a bit crap. Like it's got good bits, but it's not all good. Whereas Sepang was all good.
Sepang is Tilke's best track. His best track,
hands down.
Yeah,
and his second best is Kota.
That's a fantastic track. No, not many believe me on that or support me on that. They're like, "Oh, Kota's a bit crap." It's like it's brilliant. It's awesome. So underrated as a track for all types of racing as well. Bikes, F1. That's me exhausted on motorsport knowledge. No, but other things, there's loads of stuff going around there. Even was it NASCAR that raced there and just didn't bother with the actual corner at turn 19? Yeah.
They're more like guidelines than actual rules.
Istanbul's a great track as well, Max. I can't deny that. That final little sequence of corners is so good. Underrated.
Forget the final sequence, turn 8.
I don't know, but I mean for racing, that long run, up to that twisty bit is so good for side by side action because it's inside. It just that was it. That was my whole analysis. It's a great track.
Yes, Mario, we are absolutely saying that Sochi is not Tilke's best track.
I liked their turn 3 at Sochi. Was it turn 3? Yeah, that was a cool turn 3.
1, 2, and 3. Vettel didn't like it much.
Neither did Rosberg with his lockups.
Yeah. Although I think Vettel would have liked it if Kvyat wasn't behind him.
Yeah.
That was awkward.
That was very awkward. Was that Kvyat's last race? For Red Bull, yeah.
Even though he got the only podium of the team that season up to that point, the race before,
and beat Danny Rick the season before.
Yeah,
I think if my if my knowledge is correct, he's a good. I like Kvyat.
I mean, we could sit here for hours mentioning tracks that we like that should be on the grid.
Well,
should still be on the grid.
I hate to arrange things live, but we could over the winter. We could do a stream of like our perfect F1 calendar at some point over the winter. Sit down and just talk about what races we would get rid of, what we bring in, our perfect 20 races because that's about the right number of races for me.
No, forget that. We should just do like a long stream. We should just. Do I suggest things while there's actually like 40-odd people in chat because they get to respond? And if they all like it, then we have to do it.
Yeah, but ask CPB how long it might take. It might take about a year to get there.
No, over the winter break while we've got nothing else to do, like, how about we do a stream together, but we actually do a tier list of every track F1's ever raced.
That feels like a 2-parter, at least.
It could be a 2-parter, you know. There hasn't actually been that many, considering, which is weird.
Yeah. No, we could do that. Use a tier builder thing. That definitely feels like 2.5 hour streams, though, doesn't it? Because the first stream will be us just talking about why Sepang should be on the calendar. That's going to be 2.5 hours.
No, it's not. That's going to be like 10 seconds. Sepang, S. There we go. Next. Job done.
Every track from 1990. A lot of people in chat saying, yes, we should do that. CPB says, every track. Lol. Connell says, I will pay for that stream myself. There you go. We'll make it pay-per-view, which sounds... We will wear clothes. I promise. We will wear clothes. MasterCard Lola won't, because animals don't wear clothes, but yeah. Or should
I saw that. Dave the Fish, I saw that video, and in the comments, I just happened to point out to him, like, if he was dumb enough to do all of the corners in F1 ever, just the Nürburgring would increase the amount of corners by 8%. Just Nürburgring and Pescara would increase the number of corners by 13%. 2 tracks. And it puts all the entire number of corners up by that much. It was so stupid. That's because, I mean, do you even know Pescara?
Me?
Yeah, Pescara looks like a slice of cauliflower. Like a chunk taken out of cauliflower. It's like 2 straights and then a wibbly bit.
Yeah, you've shown me before, yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
Track, but I love it because it's so dumb.
As bad as... Well, that's what I wanted to do. Before we wrap up, we are going to wrap up in a minute. I wanted to just ask you about the rumoured possible mandated stint lengths for Qatar. Because it really... It winds me up because it's like... We go to these races and they're sort of like, oh, well, we need tyres that are going to degrade quickly to give us great racing. And then we go to Qatar, it's like, yeah, but now we need the hardest tyres and we have to mandate your stint lengths. It's like, if the tyres can't handle it, 1, you've built crap tyres, but 2, then the drivers will just have to pit more. Why do we need a mandated stint length? And I know I'm talking to the safety king and I'm going to get told off, but if a team decides to leave their driver out and their tyre goes bang, that's on them. But I just think the mandated stint lengths thing, it was an experiment they had to do. Well, not an experiment. It was a necessity a few years ago, but I really didn't enjoy that race because you knew when a driver was going to pit, and it just ruined it. Yeah. It ruined it. So I think
completely pointless.
Just say you have to pit 3 times in this race minimum. When you choose to do that is up to you, and then that rewards people who can manage their tyres and can make that 3-stop work without needing an extra stop or having to piss about with mandated stint lengths.
Yeah, just mandate a minimum of 3 stops. 3, coincidentally, being the number of dry compounds available in a weekend.
I knew you were going to do that.
I know, I saw people in chat talking about it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I still stick to the fact of just make them use all compounds. That's simple. Use all 3 compounds. Don't mandate 2 stops. Don't mandate 3 stops. Just use all compounds. That's it. No other rule. It makes so much more fun on the strategy. Everyone knows, the hard tyre can do in 98% of the race. Where are you going to fit in the soft and the medium without losing too much time? How much are you going to do on the medium because it's the best tyre, race tyre, without losing a load of time on the hard? There's genuine strategy. We almost had something like that on Sunday. There was a hell of a lot of different strategies going on in Brazil, and I think that's what made it more entertaining.
Yeah, because it looked like a nailed-on one-stopper. And then it was 2 stops for most. A couple tried the one and it paid off because they managed their tyres well. I think Gasly and Hulkenberg, and then a few others 3 stops. And then I think Hamilton went through the pits at least 19 times because he just did not have a good day.
It was Max that made it interesting because with about 18, 19 laps to go, I think they brought him in for a fresh set of mediums. It was like, oh, okay, he's going for it. Let's see what happens.
Connell says in chat.
And someone else went in. Yeah, go on.
Connell just says that Sean relink me to buy me a coffee. I need to donate a 3rd time. I have done it. Don't tempt me. Yeah, go. I've been sacked. I'll take every penny I can get. I'm playing, but no.
I've never made a single penny from anything of these over 8 years. All I've got is this microphone.
I bought you a mic. I
beers.
bought you a beer when we were at Autosport, possibly. No, I did. I bought you two and then charged them back for taxes.
Yes, yeah, of course.
I was networking. Well, I think I got the microphone, didn't I? Yeah.
What? No, you gave me your old one.
Well, yeah, but you know. Because you came here and built a PC.
The Saturday night at Autosport, we were kind of missed. As Mr. Jack in the chat will know.
Him and his pants
and
his
shared a
toothbrush.
hotel room with him. Yeah. Yeah, he literally all he turned up with was fresh pants and a toothbrush.
Oh, did you see there's no Autosport this coming year, by the way?
Surprise.
Back for 2027, allegedly. We'll see.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. That's done. Glad I got to go. Even with the terrifying hindsight of thinking, I've just been in the NEC with like hundreds of thousands of people from, several thousand from all over the world, and then a week later it's like the world shuts down because there's a pandemic. I'm like, that was close.
See, Moray says he's from Lincolnshire. What did you expect? Tight as a nun's ass. It's not that I'm tight, it's that we have no money. Lincolnshire has very little money in it, especially now. Let's not get political. Especially now we have to pay certain person's sister to answer her emails because she can't be bothered. Anyway, I'm going to read 3 comments or questions. We won't answer questions now, but 3 comments for chat, and then we're going to wrap up because I said 2 hours. It's been 2.5 plus.
Oh, Christ.
So, as it turns out, Jonty, the old F1 word, an hour in F1 definition is anything but an hour, or whatever the expression is it's followed us over. I think we're the problem, you know. I think we're the problem.
Yeah, any number of minutes except 60.
Yeah, that's an F1 word hour. Moray, I can't say a thing, mate. But thank you. John will sit in chat and he'll yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to read it out, but yes, and you can't read it out either, Jonty. They're very happy with Tyre Talk time. Jack says, if your rubber isn't good enough, don't fuck with it. We need to end this. How's the Qatar track? Mate, they do the whole thing in the full wet, says golf balls. Great point, Jonty, on using all compounds, says Pascal. Bold prediction says CPB. Kimi will win in Vegas and will snatch 6 from Lewis in the standings. You heard it here first. I did say on Sunday that Kimi had a chance of pipping Lewis, so technically you heard it here first, and then we heard it from you second, but you worded it differently, so that is a new thing. I'll let you off. No, Sean. No, you misunderstand. It's Tyre Talk time. There we go. I need to cut one for next week. 3 races left. That's too easy, isn't it? That's boring. Needs to be a double or a triple would be good. It's been a while. We need more John T. Statement done. Good night, says Rev Raven. Take care, mate. Well, there's going to be loads over the winter, like we say. I'm not sure where we're going to squeeze another one of these in before the end of the season, because with me still doing the previews over on the other channel, I'm kind of busy with that, and then having to do stuff, or not having to, I don't have to do anything for this channel, it's a choice, but needed to do stuff here, then but certainly the winter, we've got plenty of time. Thank you again to Connell, who is secretly Joseph, or Joe. Thank you very much for your next super chat, mate. Says, donated twice the same number of mandatory stints at Qatar, and here's the third, and yes, that's the same number of dry tyre compounds. There we go. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. That's very generous of you and very funny as well. I love how Tyre Talk was just one. I did it once because I was talking about, it was something to do with running, I said. And then I put like some stock footage of a jogger in some really cool trainers. I was like, on the subject of rubber, and that was it. That was about 4 years ago, and they still keep coming. So, a bit random. If anyone here is not subscribed, please do. The sooner we get to 1K, the sooner us mods can start getting paid right. It says, Matt, I'll pay you in virtual biscuits. It's Bitcoin. Not pens, biscuits. Biscoin. There you go. But yeah, please do subscribe if you're new. Drop a like as well before you go. But I think we're wrapping up there, John T, because since Jack said that, I think we're starting to... the stream's going off on one now.
It does.
Like Max says, it's officially all gone to shit.
and considering the main topic for the stream, and we talked about that for like less than a quarter of the stream.
Well, it was supposed to be half. So that went well. But yeah, thank you very much, John T, mate. It's been a pleasure. I kind of don't want to end it. I'm quite happy to sit here for another hour just talking nonsense, but it is.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We would.
20 to 11 in the UK, which means it's 20 to midnight in Europe, and it is the middle of the week, and people have to get to work and school and whatever else tomorrow. So it's been great fun, mate. Really enjoyed it. I'm sure I'll talk to you for a few minutes afterwards just to thank you properly, but that sounded wrong. No, we need to go. But I will. Oh God! I mean, we've been doing these on and off for 7 years now, John T. I think nearly 8 years. So we have a lot of fun, and we'll keep them coming over the winter. We'll see if we can squeeze one in before the end of the season. If not, we'll do a few after the season to talk about the year, and then obviously over the winter we'll do some of the more silly ones and have some fun on Wednesday. So yeah, thank you very much, mate, and thank you to everyone in chat for what's been a great stream. You've been brilliant as always. Thanks for your questions, and sorry that the main topic only took up the first hour and we've been going for 2 hours and 40, but welcome to Formula Sean. There you go. All the usual stuff.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to sign off with you on, John T. I never do this.
It's just really nice to be welcomed back so openly and everyone being so happy and engaged in chat. It's fantastic. I really could do this all the time.
It's the community side of it I love. And something I've really missed over the last year. We'll say no more. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, mate. So all the usual stuff. Please do drop a like before you go and subscribe if you are new. I will be back on this channel next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when I get the video done. And then I'll be on the F1 Word on Thursday with the Las Vegas Grand Prix preview, and then live at 3:30 a.m. On Saturday for Vegas qualifying watch along, because I won't let you guys down, but unfortunately there won't be a race watch along on the F1 Word because my partner has to be up for work in the morning, and that's not fair for me to be screaming at F1 at 4 in the morning. So no race watch along for Vegas, but we will do the quali one here. So bring coffee, lots of coffee. But I'm going to sign off now without saying the other channel. I hope I get this right this time. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. I still did it. This has been Formula Sean. And until next time, goodbye.
Really?